I'm working at the Gap. That's when I, met my first gay person, and I was like, whoa, I heard about gay people. Like, you're gay. Yeah. It was like my first week, and they're like, all right, you're gonna work fitting rooms today. And one of the employees walks up, he's like, hey, I'm gonna try on these pants. He comes out, he's like, what do you think? And I get some tight bell bottoms. I'm like, we got new men's jeans in here. Honey, these are women's. And I was like, But back then it was okay, and I asked questions, and he wasn't offended. He wasn't like, how dare you?
Your situation was organic.
Right.
Like, he was cool talking about it. You were cool exploring and asking your questions.
I'm not exploring.
Yeah, exploring.
I'm not exploring.
The Ruffled Feathers Podcast.
Welcome, everybody. Woo! Podcast has begun. The second. We'll
official first episode.
Another episode of Ruffled Feathers. I am Bird, tattoo artist of 14 years, self-taught, self-made, doing my thing, living the American dream. With my guests here today, we got David. Tatted up.
That's it.
We got Pablo.
What's up?
We got Jared from
That was nice.
On the ones and twos, we got Dro Lord, Alex in the back. So if y'all hear
What's
another
up,
voice,
Alex?
What up?
There's little ghosts. Like I said, I'm a tattoo artist of 14 years. Yeah, 14 years, self-taught. Learned at the house, on the homies. And here I am, I tattoo on the daily, and I live an art life, and it's a beautiful thing. My partner Pablo here.
Yep, Pablo. I am a multitasker. I like to do a number of things. Definitely excited to have this podcast rolling. I grew up in Houston, Texas. I love the Houston culture. We're trying to incorporate all of that together. But I'm excited to have also my boy Jared. Jared, you want to tell our guests something about yourself?
Yeah. My name is Jared. I'm from a suburb of Houston called Alvin, Texas. So it was the dream for us to be out here, and actually live out here in Alvin and shit, or in Houston, because if you know anything about Alvin, it's just a small town. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go. So lots of minimal resources. So to be out here in Houston finally, dude, it's nice, dude. Yeah, I love it.
Cool, man. It's a good move.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And then we got my boy David here getting tatted up.
In the hot
David.
chair.
I'm David. How you doing? I've been getting tatted by this guy for about a decade now, I guess, right?
Started with this polo.
Started with the polo.
Yeah.
And he's dope ass artist, man. Like, you go to my Instagram page, htown_eats, EATZ, and you'll see a lot more of his work.
Yeah.
But we're here to get it in.
Yeah, man.
So let's get it.
We got Kermit the Frog playing Madden, wearing his Texans jersey. That's what we tatted up today.
That's it.
On the show, I want to do stuff that represents the people, because that's why we're doing the show. It's a show to represent the people.
So what does that mean to you?
Well, I sit around and play a lot of Madden, so it makes sense. And I kind of grew up watching Kermit the Frog. I'm kind of old, so I remember when Kermit was on TV, and he just always used to crack me up. So put it all together, awesome. Rick, and here we go.
Mix it up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
What I really love about this is because Kermit the Frog was from a time when there was no AI, there was no really hardcore computer editing. It was all, you made the Muppets. Shout out to Jim Henson.
Shout out Jim.
Cheers.
Legend.
And then you had your creativity was live. You had to create it. It wasn't done digitally.
Yeah.
And we're pretty much all from that from this generation where we're at the split, right? Where everything was analog up to this point where now it's tech.
Yeah, digital.
High tech, digital. So we get to see the best of both worlds, and I think that's why our voice, at least for me, speaking personally, I feel like my voice or my perspective, I wanted to lend, a guidance to where we're going with the country, with the world, with just our communities. So that's why I'm I'm ready to start doing this tattoo. I want to
Yeah.
start talking about shit.
Well, kind of what you were going off of, man. Speaking through the arts, you know, using the arts as a platform to communicate, to spread education, truth, most importantly. You know.
Yeah.
And I mean, arts is universal. It is no language. You see it and you feel it. Music, you it might be in another language, but you feel it.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Facts.
I love me some Bollywood.
Yes. Hey, bro, they got this little thing going on over there.
I don't know what they're saying, but I want to say
It's hard, though.
Emotion is evoked.
Yeah. But the movies, bro, like they go hard on the special effects, man.
Oh. Yeah, that's a whole other discussion there.
But I know you used to do some music, huh,
Yeah,
Jerry?
I currently do music. By the time this episode drops, I'll have a new song called Bounce Out. The video should be out by the same time this, episode drops and everything as well. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Bounce by Jared Kohler. Check it out.
And look out for it.
But yeah, man, I believe in the same thing though, because it should be like a reflection of like, realism, but your interpretation of it at the same time, like, because I guess what's real is, different for everybody, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, there can be an event and several truths to that event, right? So, but yeah, man,
right?
yeah, but
Right.
I love the realistic side of it, to where, you can get out whatever emotion it is, you know what I'm saying, that needs to be evoked,
Yeah.
And I think that kind of leads into one of the hot topics of the moment right now. The diddler.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, Puffy.
Yeah, goodness.
Because on the surface it's funny, like, fuck, like, how many bottles of fucking...
1,000.
Yeah.
1,000 bottles of
1,000 bottles.
Bro,
baby
that's a lot
oil.
of...
So,
Yeah.
and depending on what size, they didn't say what size they were. Were
Yeah.
they fucking
Nah.
small?
Were they travel
like,
size?
yeah, they might have been a gallon a piece.
From my
dude.
understanding, he
Boxes.
doesn't discriminate with size. So some dudes require a lot more oil than others.
Well, it's crazy because you remember telling people about this back in like 2010, and you're like, oh, the Illuminati's real, and people are like, nah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that in the open. And now it's just like, of course, like
Yeah,
there's no questions asked. But if you were a decade too soon or whatever, like this was unheard of.
Right,
Yeah.
hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah.
When you're at the forefront of saying, hey, shit's popping,
Yeah.
like, we need to pay attention.
Yeah.
We're at that front.
Yeah.
People like to be asleep though.
Yeah.
Because we've been knowing, but
Yeah.
people are like, it's better to sweep it under the rug.
It's
you know?
just easier. Yeah, it's just easier to just not deal with it. Just like a lot of different, emotions and stuff. It's just like, oh, suppress it. Because if you were at the time, if you were to be like, oh, Diddy is this and that, like it would take a lot of people because they grew up on Diddy or that's who they attach like masculinity to. No,
Biggie?
Diddy. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just saying, because, Biggie Smalls.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just all that
Yeah.
music.
And you saw that they put a trans in his video or whatever. There's like a video in that Big Papa. There's a trans in the Big Papa video. She's even taking a piss
know
in the
that.
urinal. Yeah.
What?
And you don't notice
pull
it
this
because
up.
it's all quick.
Right,
Yeah.
But now they're going back and
It's all quick.
analyzing
Yeah.
everything. now.
Because
When you look back, it's been happening.
Yeah.
It was there all the time.
She
It was
didn't
just
even see it.
soft.
Yeah, soft.
And now
Yeah.
it's
Now it's all out
hard
in
to
the open.
Yeah.
It's
Uh-huh.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's
bro.
just crazy, bro. Like, cause like,
that's
yeah.
tranny?
Yeah. And then she's taking like a piss in the urinal afterwards.
So it's like
Something.
subliminal. You
Yeah.
don't even see it. Damn.
And it's like,
Yeah, he's like hollering at her too,
yeah.
isn't he?
Cause she got like a major
Wow.
line.
What's your
in
name
it.
is? What's your
Yeah,
name?
it's
What's your
just-
name? What's your size?
Yeah.
I came from behind. That shit.
See, we
that
can
line.
find a video. Bro,
Big
that's
Papa.
fucking crazy.
Yeah. You know, I be
Damn, I didn't
scrolling.
know
You know
that
what I'm
shit,
saying?
man. That's
But your wormholes take
Yeah.
Facts.
Because I got a wormhole that
Just
this segues to, but this is good. Yeah, just find that spot. I'm gonna start. I got a tattoo at some point
Yeah.
today.
Right.
Why not? Why blow up my spot?
That's
Right
all.
there.
Check it.
So,
I got more
Right
back
there.
Oh yeah, this is in the bathroom,
Believe me,
right?
sweetie, I got enough to feed the needy.
They're like,
No need to
oh,
be greedy.
what
I
the
got
fuck?
mad friends with Benzes. See no
and you just like,
I remember that.
yeah, crazy, dude.
Well, so, okay. Puffy, let's go back to what you were saying. You were saying, like, if 10 years ago they would say Puffy was going to get accused of all this, we probably would have been like, because he pretends to give opportunities too. He pretends to be a good guy. I think he adopts a bunch of kids or fosters some kids, right?
I don't really know. I don't keep up with him too much just because I just never had a good light on him. My introduction to Puffy was, more like Dave Chappelle. Like, you know what I'm saying? When Dave Chappelle was making fun of him because he wasn't like my type of music.
The band.
The cheesecake shit.
Yeah, so I was like, Puffy to me has always been weird because Dave Chappelle introduced me to Puffy.
Right. Even Chuck Snyder, I mean, he's like, if you want the executive producer not in your video, dancing and shit. So I feel you. I never really liked Puffy, dude, but Biggie, I fuck with Biggie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
One of the greatest.
Always been a Tupac fan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Tupac over it.
Out of the two,
over everybody.
Tupac music changed my life or saved my life.
With that, Google Diddy Tupac tattoo.
I seen that one.
Yes.
Okay,
That is weird, bro, because Tupac was hella soft coming in. If you ever seen his original interviews of like, I'd give everybody in the world a puppy. Like,
yes.
It's like, who's that?
Yeah.
Like,
He's got that twinkle in his eye. It looks different then.
Now go back.
That wasn't a gangster twinkle no more.
I think it's on his chest. I don't think it's like.
Yes, it's on his
It's
chest.
on one of his.
He's got Tupac tattooed on his
You
chest.
got his skull, bro.
His skull.
Yeah, with the bandana, like how Tupac would wear the bandana.
Oh, okay. And there's a lot of people online that say that he paid to have him killed and shit.
Yeah, you
Right.
can't see it.
Right.
But he has a
Yeah. I got you.
But I think he killed both of them, dude. I think
That's
he
what
killed
they-
both.
that's
Tupac
what I've
and
heard.
Biggie.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's like documentaries and movies about it. But,
Yeah.
But
You know,
who controls that?
right there,
you know?
yeah, exactly. So the
The whole
so-called
part of the programming is that
gatekeepers.
everything we see is presented to us.
So then this is I guess the dark side of music. Cause
Sure.
you got so much power, bro. You control the music, who
You
gets
zoom
in,
in
who gets
more.
out, and you use it
Yeah.
for evil.
Well, it's
Right.
like, how they be saying, like, and it's crazy to just go there, right? But they be saying, like, okay, Lucifer was the angel of music. And then you kind of just, like, link all of it together, and you're like, okay, well, no wonder there's a lot of bullshit. And that's not to say that all music is, like,
Right.
on that level, but you see why that's the entertaining side of it.
Like we talked about art. Like it can be used for greatness, like doing stuff to help people uplift them, but that same energy can be used on the downside. And all you have to do is just be able to decipher, like, because look, like even that video we just saw, like what was he promoting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was,
And in the moment, it's funny as a music video. They run away, you know.
when
But
you're
there's
young
some
too, you're like,
deeper,
oh,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
It goes deeper than that, man.
Can you post that or put the video up, Alex? I wanted to show.
We just think of the coffee.
Oh, the
Just-
coffee.
We kind of led into that already. I want to try to check this video out. Not that one. It's the that one. And y'all tell me your thoughts on on this video.
It's exposing the reality, which is something like, we worship the devil. Like most of the culture worships the devil, objectively. Right? It's like, well, what I mean is that if you have a culture, by the way, this is what Anton LaVey said. So Anton LaVey, the founder of the Satanic Church in the 1960s, he said, you all worship the devil, you just don't know it. He said, I'm just telling you what you already are. Which is that if you worship greed and money, and if you worship desire, and if you worship power, you're just a Satanist. You just don't know it. And so that has played in through culture to a point where obviously Sam Smith is probably not smart enough to think about it consciously, but unconsciously he realizes that image of the devil is the image for us today. Right? It is the representation of our culture more than anything else. And so it just bubbles up. It kind of becomes inevitable.
I believe that to be true, man.
I guess I got the right T-shirt on for this conversation.
Yeah, you got some Slayer shit.
So what are your thoughts on the video?
I mean, he's got a good point. He's got a good point. This Slayer shirt. And think about Slayer. I mean, they talk about Satan worship in their music, but then I've read before they're not practicing Satanists.
Right.
So it's like, are they doing it for shock value, Are they doing it,
Inside their
you
niche.
know, right? Like a lot of like Young Thug with all the gay stuff. Is he really gay, or is he just doing it, you know, doing it for?
I think
it's
for
no
views
different
and
than
stuff.
You're doing it for the views, but
Right.
Like you're claiming Bloods or Crip rapper,
Yeah.
and then some Bloods come check you.
You're like, wait a second, I'm not that. I'm
It's
not
the same thing with the Satanists. Like,
Yeah.
Shit like, oh yeah, we're not practicing, but you're still promoting it.
Yeah.
You're still
Yeah.
doing his work.
And
Facts.
that goes deep because then that's the power of words.
Yeah.
So if in actions, you know,
Yeah.
if you're exercising that energy, you're
Sure.
creating it, you're calling it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you're worshiping it in a way.
Yeah, I feel like
Unintentionally.
there's like an energy vortex and all of these things. Like there's frequencies, and you tapping into that frequency, or like let's say ASAP Rocky with like the pentagram on his
Yeah.
music video. It's like maybe it's not like he's in direct communication with Satan himself, but there's an energy vortex with all of this stuff. Like it
Yeah.
attracts certain things, like you said, like a red bandana would attract a certain type of attention.
Exactly.
You know, like certain jewelry
Travis Scott.
attracts. Yeah.
He's
So
a big one that all his imagery, Astral World,
dark.
the entrance into Astral
Yeah.
World,
yeah.
his whole fucking set is a portal.
Yeah.
There's demons flying around.
Yeah.
People died there.
Yeah.
There's people claiming at concerts of I think Doja Cat where they felt like at certain points like they were just
There's like energy
In the trance.
energy
Yeah.
sources. Yeah. Like, have you seen it?
Well,
the
I
way
mean-
the crowds move.
Well, it goes into all of it. It's like binaural beats and all that type of stuff. We know that there's
yeah.
a frequency to all this type of stuff, you know, and like, especially if media. We've all heard of a musician or artist who is in a mainstream genre, you know, whether that's R&B, rap, you know, country music. And you would say, yeah, you're better, you should definitely be, you know, a famous person by now, you know, you've been doing it for years.
yeah.
But there is something that's kind of being pushed, you can see, or
It's
not
not
even
letting
kind
them
of,
get
it is
yes,
being pushed.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
like
yes.
you see the whole Rihanna stuff, you know, like, and Rihanna, hey, my girl, like, you know what I'm saying, I love Rihanna, I love me some
Right.
Rihanna, right?
Very
But-
nice.
but
The
yeah,
videos are dark as hell,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, videos are dark, and you know
Right.
that whole situation, and so
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can definitely see that there's an agenda being pushed on shit, and like, and God is the only like, at least the Hebrew God of the Bible is the only God you can like disrespect and, you know,
Right.
Get
speak
away with
against.
it.
Like
Right.
you wouldn't
Yeah.
see, you would like the minute they did something with what's that called, like Charlie Hebdo, like, you know what I'm saying, out in what's it called, France. Them boys killed like, you know, several reporters or whatever. It was like a whole massacre.
Damn, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, but you know, so you can't talk shit about like, you know, no other gods, nor should you, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not promoting like, you know.
But why is this one okay? to
Yeah, there's
bash
just one
and
that's
mock?
an exception to. Yeah, right.
Like,
But it seems like Christianity is the ones that they go after the most and the hardest,
Right, that's
right?
what,
On purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's like you don't see them go against Muslims or Jews or
Yeah.
Hindu, you know, like.
yeah,
So that's gotta say something.
yeah.
Lil Nas.
Nas, yeah, of course,
Lil
yeah,
Nas,
the real
yeah.
Nas,
Real
right?
Nas,
Yeah, yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah,
I didn't say that.
Not that other, yeah, not that other dude. Yeah,
But also, I mean, you know, going back to what he was saying about worshiping. See, look at that.
Jesus.
He does it on purpose. He gave the devil a lap dance in one of his
yeah,
videos.
yeah, bro. Like, you know,
You don't get more direct than that.
Yeah, that's the image right there.
Yeah.
It's like a demon or some
Yeah.
shit.
well, and you kind of see the evolution of how they kind of like did it as far as like a marketing plan over the years. It's like get people to fall in love with the money side of hip hop and music. So it's like Jeezy killing it, you know,
Cash Money.
Cash Money, Lil Wayne killing it, you know, every artist that you see just killing it. And then it's like, well, now you just realize you got to sell your soul. Because it was like the illusion
Yeah.
of, okay, everyone's selling dope or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like, you know, ain't nobody, that like, I feel like dope music isn't even really like a popular part of hip hop and rap as much as it used
Not
to be.
anymore.
Like when you listen to what like the youth is listening to, it's not like, oh, making money, jewelry, chains,
Yeah.
Rolex watches,
Yeah.
like, you know, like,
Yeah.
yeah, they be on some
So
other shit.
this is what's curious to me about like the world that I don't understand, right? Like
Mhm.
like some people seem to make things look very easy,
Yeah,
right? So then like also like say finding a niche, right? So say Slayer. We're not devil worshippers, but we choose to this genre
Promote it.
and attract
symbols,
this crowd,
imagery, and
right?
stuff like that.
So it comes easy. They do it. They were successful. They still are to this day.
Sure.
This motherfucker chose the devil image. Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, bro, he's belligerent about it, which in a way I can respect because it's more like, say, like another artist that's pretending to be hard, pretending to be straight.
He's
but
stating his claim at least.
At least he's stating his name.
You know where
real.
he stands.
But the evolution of evil, bro, like the graphic of it has gotten to an extreme. Right?
Yeah.
This guy literally gave the devil a lap dance and he's hitting it from the back.
That's crazy. I didn't watch the whole
You never
thing.
seen it?
No, I didn't watch the
only
video.
seen clips from it.
Because it's just too
Yeah.
far for
So,
me, man. Yeah.
The song goes hard. I actually like
I don't listen to nothing. I'll change the radio, man. Yeah. I just don't even give them. That's what they get paid off of is a stream. So it's like they'll make something controversial. Their fans gonna listen to it. It's so controversial they gonna get you to listen to it and watch it. So now you paying them, but you hate. You know, you anti them. However, they still getting paid for the stream. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's where I was going. Now, through their music, us listening to it, we're worshiping the devil for them, with them, through them. This is really facts, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's also like the English language.
Yeah.
A lot of the English language was set to cast spells.
Right.
I didn't know that.
You know? So, I mean, I don't know if it's a fact, if it was purposely done. But people talk about it, you know? Like, say, like, when they talk about, like, good morning, you know? Like, good morning. The weekdays, the weekend, your weekend by the weekend, you know? Like, I mean, stuff like that. And it could be conspiracy, it could be a little extreme, but I feel like there is a power, a higher power at hand that uses us as batteries to power to manifest their whatever they want.
Their dreams.
Their dreams, their ideas, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like how Monsters Inc. You know, they be winning off of the fear or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Monsters Inc. collect all the fear, you know, droplets of the youth, of the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that fuels their city. That fuels their intentions.
Yeah.
But there's been Satanists that talk about that. Like, their power only comes when they're forthright with what their intentions are. And we accept it by not saying anything about it. And it's the same as prayer. Like, we pray to ourselves to create that power, but they have to, you know, it's almost the opposite.
Right.
Of
Well,
prayer.
there has to be spoken word, which is a power, but also action. You know, you build the energy, you direct an energy. So it's like you create groups to separate us. You know, so like you create two political parties. So now me and my sister, or you and your cousin are arguing because y'all disagree on certain views, but they're created to cause that on purpose. The division to keep us separated and distracted and you know, inside chaos inside. So we're not functioning at our higher selves, or at our best. So all of that, back to the music. How does P. Diddy abuse his power?
Oh man, I know how he abused his power. I know how he did, man.
It's pretty obvious now.
But I mean, you know, you can see it, and you know, I think, you know, not to go as extreme as P. Diddy, but with any human, like, you know, you get a little bit more power, whether that be, oh, I just got the keys to this new downtown spot, or I just got a new car that's, you know, this fast or whatever. Like, you're gonna abuse your power to a degree, but like, there is self-control in it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to have an orgy with like 5 chicks, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you pay each one of them. That's what you're into. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool. But like, you're over here manipulating like careers and livelihoods. Like, that's crazy. That's hurtful. You know what I'm saying? And you're not even in it for like the passion of the music. Like, it's like, oh, we're gonna fuck around and then I'll make you the artist that the world listens to. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
just bend over first.
But it's like, think about it though. Like, we are in the world that we live in, we're accustomed to it. Like, it's a norm to us. But if you really dig deep, bro, that's fucked up.
Well, it's like, be transparent about it. It's like, bro, anything that you do, you should be able to be proud of, right? You know what I'm saying? I you know, I don't agree with a lot of different lifestyles, right? You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, you know, live in it, right? And obviously that fool's hiding a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
because it's fraud.
He's not
being himself. He's not being genuine.
If you're with a lot of chicks or whatever, then you're with a lot of chicks. Whatever, you're a player ass dude. But like, you know, you're over here doing all this other stuff. It's like, you know, first and foremost, you're tricking because you're holding the item, for ransom or whatever.
Leverage.
Yeah, leverage, right?
Which is like it's a sin in a way.
Yeah.
Because you're taking advantage of the lesser knowledgeable or the
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's the sad world that we're living in.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And who called this out that it was happening this year?
I don't know.
Cat Williams.
Oh yeah. That's right. That interview was amazing,
Yes.
dude. I watched the whole interview. You watched the whole thing? Yeah. I had to press pause a couple times. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I watched the full interview.
You watched the whole thing?
Oh hell yeah, I watched that shit.
Yeah.
But
Twice.
again,
Yes.
when
It's
it came
good.
out,
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh, he's crazy. He's
Yeah.
crazy. He don't know what he's talking about." But
Yeah.
what are people not understanding that they're missing? Why a Cat Williams knows what's going on? Why we see things that are happening? It's because what you're shown every day is literally MK Ultra.
Yeah.
If you have to research MK Ultra, it's literally mind control, and
Research
it's not
it.
that hard to do. I watched it was a video. A dude went to his job. He's like, I'm gonna show you how easy it is to manipulate people. So at his job, it was a cubicle thing like Office Space, the movie, or The Office. So everybody's like clustered together. He's like, at 11 a.m. every morning, I'm gonna turn on this weird alarm and I'm just gonna stand up and watch what happens. So 11 a.m. alarm goes off and he stands up and people are like, what the fuck? Whatever. Jim, he's weird. Like they keep going. By the end of 30 days, at 11 a.m., the whole office was standing up with him. They didn't know why. They're just like, oh, I guess we're supposed to stand up. But it's just that when you're with peers and you see somebody doing something, like it's just in us.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because we are all connected.
Yeah.
To just be like, oh well, I guess we need to stand up right now.
Yeah.
Or even like when you see like 4 lines at the grocery store, and one line has a ton of people, you'll see people keep going into that same line, but there's like one register that's open. Nobody's going to that open register. So I'll walk to the open register and I'm like, but it's because people see other people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's that psychosis, it's that programming that is so easy that we do it on accident.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
No.
I think that we are we most of us may be followers, so we need direction. We need to know where to go, what to do, But that's an experiment that I've seen before. This other one was very similar, but it was at a place I was hiring, and it was like 3 or 4 people in the lobby, right? And new people kept coming in, and they kept doing the same thing. This light would go on, and the guy would just get up for like maybe 10 seconds and then sit back down.
Yeah.
And then everybody would start doing it around. So finally somebody went and asked the lady, like, hey, are we supposed to get up? And the lady was like, oh, I don't know. I think the light just goes on and off.
Yeah.
But nobody really, it was
Question
just that one guy. I mean, that was part of the experiment,
Sure.
But I think so that also exposes how fragile and delicate we are, and how that can be used for good or bad.
Yeah, manipulatable.
Well, and just so trainable, because you see people from different cultures outside of the U.S. and they don't think the same way as us. They come over here and they just dominate, and it's nothing against them. It's just that you can tell that there's definitely a way that U.S. children are raised, at least public school wise, I've met people from boarding schools to private schools, public schools, what I was raised in. But, you see the difference in level of thought and how they, critical thinking skills and everything like that.
That's why I was absent so much in my high school career and skipping class, because by that time my mind was like, I don't learn like this anymore. I can't do this.
Yeah.
If I'm here, I'm going to start acting bad. I'd rather just go smoke weed
Yeah.
at the corner. And do my own thing.
Yeah. No, they say that the public school system was created off of some factory system that some dude did, so. But you can see it, man. My mom's a Spanish teacher currently, and for high school level, and you can just tell, man. She comes home and it's not the objective for them to learn anything. We all had to take 2 years of Spanish to graduate high school in Texas. Yeah. And if you wasn't raised with Spanish, like me, my father was first generation Spanish speaker. My mother teaches it, but I don't know Spanish, right? But I took the 2 years in high school, still don't know Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, man. So the school's job isn't to necessarily teach you. It is to kind of like groom you to be herd mentality. Because you'll see, I'm lucky enough to know people from like the Viet culture, like Nigerian culture. And you'll see them come over here and retain the culture and still continue to be like above par a lot of different, at least local people,
They're more disciplined.
Yeah. They just, they were taught how to like survive and live or whatever versus Americans. It's just like, be comfortable, do what everybody else says.
We're a bunch of spoiled brats.
Yeah. You see how quick trends change. You can't keep the same pair of jeans for like 3 years because
consumption, bro.
Yeah. The trend gonna change and you're gonna look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the most part, unless you have like a timeless look. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you're trying to keep up with the trend, like you can't. So, but just because everybody's just so herd mentality, everybody's just so, I'm gonna do what the next person's doing.
Yeah.
And it's easy. That's the scary part. It's easy.
And see, like, I had trouble with that, bro. Like, I would get the last season shoes this season.
Yeah.
People would be like, dude, you're late. And I wouldn't understand that shit, bro. Like, I don't know what you mean. I got them fucking $100 cheaper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what you mean? But it's like, I liked them and they were comfortable, but...
We grew up with when it was a good year we went to academy.
Yeah.
When it was a normal year it was Payless.
Yeah.
So I had the attack force that looked like
Hell
the Nike.
Same. And bro, but as a young kid, I couldn't understand why
attack force.
it was such a big deal, So like I took it deeply, dude. I was like, man, maybe I'm the problem. But it took me a while to realize, bro, like the materialistic shit. I mean, dude, I like nice stuff and I'm all for it, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
And people are like, will freak out and act different if they don't have it, It's
Nah, bro. Luckily, like, I didn't get my first pair of Nikes till 7th grade. I had to buy them hoes from Academy, for $40-$50. And they were some, like, Monarchs. Or not even no Monarchs, but they were just, something that wasn't even like a
generic,
generic Nike,
that's
right?
Your name, right?
They just have to check on them.
So luckily, like, you get to see, I get to see both sides of it, because now, I do prefer to shop at, luxury brand, places, but, you get to see both sides of it, and it does, bro, it does ruin people, or like, you put people onto that type of stuff, like a chick or something, and it ruins their outlook on what normal is, and it's like, nah, like, you can still get the dunks or whatever, like, it's just like, if you can afford it, this is the gold prize, like, this ain't for everybody, like, like, everybody, you know what I'm saying, if you gotta settle for, some random Nikes, or whatever, some random New Balances, like, it's whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, like, just be a good person, how they say, just be a good person at the end of the day, but, that's, you'll talk to people from, I know someone who's from Brazil, and they be like, yeah, y'all Americans, y'all are fake and y'all lie so much. And it's like, yeah, we're not good people. We do just dress apart, or, we have a script. You know what I'm saying? Like, you meet somebody and there's that generic script. Oh, hey, how are you? What do you do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, that's my friend.
You can recognize those.
Yeah, you can recognize it. And, it's like, that's my friend now is what American culture. It's like, nah, your friends are like who you know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, luckily.
Because to me, it's a blessing and a curse to be an American.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the most coolest thing that we're regarded as people that will say whatever the fuck they want to.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah,
that's who I am.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm not gonna be a dick about it.
Yeah.
If I disagree, I disagree. Like,
yeah.
And that's our right here. That's different from anywhere else in the world. And
right.
that's why when they come here, they're like, my dudes, it's beautiful here. Like, you can say anything. You can say whatever you want. Right. And that's why they excel here. Because, like, if you do the hard work,
you'll get it.
You get it.
Yeah.
And we come from a culture, from Mexican culture, where it's like, you put in the work, you enjoy those fruits, and then you distribute it to your family. You know?
Yeah.
You don't give it back to the corrupt Mexican government.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And then people are here like, well, let's just give it to the government.
Yeah. So see that. It's a perfect example, like how beautiful it can be.
Yeah.
And I mean, like,
but that's
like,
ugly.
Right, absolutely, because it's false. It's all fake.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Well, freedom's ugly, dude. Like, freedom means I can be mean to you.
Yeah.
So, like, that takes, like, great responsibility.
But there's a difference in being mean and telling somebody the truth. Yeah. And nowadays, that gets confused.
Yeah.
If I tell somebody the truth and it hurts them, I'm being a dick and I'm fucking an asshole and I should need to know when and where. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If my brother's fucking up, I think I gotta tell my brother you're fucking up, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's also okay. I get it. Everybody's in different stages and different walks, but I think that's just in this part of the world that we're like gotta be considerate. Because like, if you teach a kid like cultures like the Chinese, you see those little 2-year-olds already kicking above their head and freaking like control. They're already folding their clothes and putting it up. 3-4 years old. You know?
Yeah.
Here you got 10-year-olds that don't know how to freaking
Wipe their ass.
wipe their ass.
Bro, I
Wash
believe
their
in
clothes.
bullying, bro. Bring back bullying. You know what I'm saying?
To a certain extent.
You know,
I
to a certain extent.
was a bully and bullied.
Yeah. It's
Some say I'm still a bully.
there's a
But-
hierarchy. Yeah.
But you learn.
Yeah.
You learn by being bullied.
Yeah.
Like what it feels like, and then when you bully someone, you should also learn like eventually you get bullied back.
So it's
And then
social skills, really.
Yes.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Checks
Well,
and
and it also
balances.
creates a norm, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe, like, to a degree, there should be, like, social norms, right? You know, and, like,
Right.
you know, you can't say shit because everything is, like, hate and, you know, oh, you're not giving everybody an equal chance or whatever. Like, you know, I had gone to U of H Clear Lake, you know, got my psychology degree, my bachelor's or whatever, right? So, you know, not that it's the most prestigious, like, school or whatever, but it's like, bro, like, you know, we're trying to make it here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what everybody told me I needed to do. Tell me why I'm in my class, and it's just like, oh, this guy who's mentally, you know, detailed or whatever, right? He can say and interrupt the class at any rate that he wants to because we have to teach to his disability.
Right.
The whole fucking class,
right.
he's
Yeah,
paying
yeah.
$2,000 a fucking, you know, class and $200 for your book. And, you know what I'm saying? And still working a full-time job with no benefits, with nobody teaching to my level. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so,
bro,
you
and
know,
that's the
everybody.
school,
Everybody got a disability. Everybody got ADHD and ABC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, dude. Yeah. So yeah, man, bring back bullying.
But that and also like teaching real life situations. You know, like you could teach a kid like, man, like responsibilities that you could start with: keep your room clean, keep your room organized.
Right.
But that's
You
at
don't-
home.
That's
But
at home.
that's what you educate your kids, bro. School's not teaching them that shit. School's teaching them how. If you go to jail, now you're gonna know how to be a
Sit down.
a prisoner.
Yeah,
You
sit
know,
down.
If you
Get
go to
up.
work, now you're
Yeah.
gonna know how to be a good employee. Because I mean, dude, like I didn't do good in high school. I didn't do good in school at all. I
Yeah,
couldn't understand
yeah.
it. But there was people that were just loving it, taking it serious, and it worked for them, and they did it well.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody learns at different paces and
Yeah.
under different environments, right?
Well, yeah, and it's like crazy too because you do see the difference of like having like a father in your life and not like, you know, like I had my father in the earlier years of my life and he was former military and everything, right? So like making the bed and keeping shit tight, you know what I'm saying? You had to do that, you know, but like, you know, I'll go ahead and address it because it's like it's not just like one thing or another. This is the entire collapse of a society. It's like, oh, is it, you know, is America racist? Is it got a gun problem? Is it got a parental problem? Like, you know, a drug problem, a criminal problem? It's like, yeah, it's all of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like everybody has more allegiances to, you know, friends and the government or whatever establishment they're a part of. Jack in the Box, Dollar General, Walmart, wherever they work at, more than like their own family. Like your mama could be dying, and you're like, no, I gotta get to this shift because I got rent due because you know, like I still have shit to, you know, I don't have life insurance. And,
Well,
you know what I'm saying? So
I tell Pablo, like, we live in the Matrix, but you still have to live in the Matrix.
Right,
But
right,
you live on your own terms.
right.
So you can allow, we should be able to allow Jack in the Box to promote however the fuck they want to. It's up to you to say,
That's
I'm
true.
gonna go buy a Jack in the Box today.
Yeah.
Or it's up to you to say, nah, that shit's full of fucking chemicals and fake shit. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna eat Jack in the Box today. And I think that's the power of capitalism is a business like that is only profitable if you choose to go do it.
Right, right.
So, like, I'm choosing to do this podcast. If I'm promoting it, I want you to watch the podcast. You know, like that. I shouldn't be held accountable, or I shouldn't be shunned for wanting to do that because I want to, you know, put this word out.
Right.
So that's where it comes back to personal responsibility that we've lost, where there's no personal responsibility for your kids.
Yeah.
They're assholes because you didn't do what was right, which was tell them no.
Yeah.
Give them standards.
Teach them accountability.
Yeah.
Beat them.
Beat them.
Beat 'em. Yeah.
I got beat.
Yeah.
I got spanked.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
I had both.
Some things call for a beating, but
Yeah, everybody deserves their ass
but I
kicked
think,
sometimes.
and obviously everything to a certain extent,
Sure.
and in moderation, right? Because
Yeah.
obviously there is a thin line, but accountability is the main one, brother. Like, I didn't learn that until my late 30s. Like, I was still a child. I'm still struggling with this, you know. I'm still working on myself, but there are, like, when you're a fucking man, you gotta put your big pants on. You gotta do that shit,
Yeah.
regardless of how you feel,
Yeah.
what you look like, where you living. You gotta do it, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you've been faced with that situation, bro, like, you know, that's one of the only time you really need to
Yeah.
learn it. So I see a lot of this in the youth nowadays, man. Like, they just get away with everything. The parents don't know how far they can take it, or just how much they can say, how much they should hold back, bro. Like, the parents still learning how to do shit.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Hell
being
yeah.
a human is hard.
Yeah.
CPSs,
Yes.
they'll show up at your
They will
house.
show
You know what
up,
I'm
you know?
saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a company now too. You know.
But
Yeah,
that
true.
that happened in the 90s. There was a, I
What's that?
remember in the mid 90s,
Mm.
there was a, I don't know if it was Extra. Basically, one of these news channels, they ran a big video about a woman spanking her child in the store, and another lady seeing it and video recording it, and then they called CPS on the mom,
Mm.
and it became a big story, like, and then it became, that started this whole phase of, you know, we shouldn't be spanking our children.
Mm-hmm.
And then you started to see, maybe 5 to 7 years later, the little kids are like, shut up, mom. Like, that started to happen more often. Like, you're so stupid, you know, and that started to come on TV more often. And like, and then that was that spiral effect, that constant reprogramming that we're getting, and we're losing it.
Yeah.
We're losing it quick.
Yeah.
And we didn't think, I didn't think it would happen this quick, because, I mean, look where we're at now, where, like what you're talking about earlier, like, they want us to worry about such minuscule stuff like your sex, your
Yeah.
sexual orientation,
Yeah.
racism. Like, you're never gonna kill racism.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna kill stupidity.
Yeah.
Like, you can't kill
Yeah.
stupidity. People are just gonna be stupid.
Yeah.
At least not in the next 5 generations.
Yeah. And you know, like, prejudice too, like, you know, the difference between prejudice and racism is like, you know, people aren't really understanding that fine line and everything as well. So it's like, you know, shit, people are gonna think the way that they think, and I don't want to deal with them if they think that way. If that offends you, I don't want to deal with you. You know what I'm saying?
When
Anyways.
I think it's too easy to also misinterpret racism as ignorance,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
as stupidity, or
Yeah.
as prejudice, and then it just gets put under racism.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sometimes the dude might just be having a bad day,
Yeah.
and you pissed him off.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's racist. You're being a dick.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, that's because of the color of my skin. I was like, no, man.
Yeah, it's like, no, you're a dick, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a dick. You just happen to be black. Yeah,
exactly. And that's the way I've seen people.
Yeah.
Because of my upbringing, we grew up in a black neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
but we went to school in multicultural schools.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got to see Asian people, white people, Dutch people, Russians.
That's dope.
Lamar
yeah.
High School, baby.
Well, this was before that at Longfellow. Shout out to
Oh,
Longfellow.
middle school or what? Or
Shout out.
elementary?
Elementary.
Oh wow.
So it started young, where I was just getting to meet, you know, these different cultures, and I realized real quick, like, we're all different, like, and
Yeah.
that's cool, but we all got along, and I learned their cultures, you know, and that's helped shape me to this day, and especially, like, once I started working in the Galleria, that's when I, you know, met my first gay person, and I was like, whoa, I've heard about gay people, like, like, you're gay.
Yes.
It was a crazy story.
Yeah.
So I'm working at the Gap.
Yeah.
Shout out Kanye. We worked at the Gap, and it was like my first week, and they're like, all right, you're gonna work fitting rooms today. I'm like, okay. So you just guide the person into their fitting room. So one of the employees walks up, he's like, hey, I'm gonna try on these pants. I'm like, oh, okay, well, go for it. And he comes out, he's like, what do you think? And I get some tight bell bottoms. I'm like, oh.
You're one of those.
We
Great.
got new men's jeans in here. Honey, these are women's. And I was like,
Oh, jeez.
I was like, but back then it was okay, and I asked questions. I was like, oh, so you're gay? And he's like, yeah. And he wasn't offended. He wasn't like, how dare you? Even the question I asked her, so when did you know? I was curious, because I had you know, we were fairly sheltered, grew up in the church, but, you know, we were never taught to, like, dislike anyone. So it was just natural honesty and curiosity, like, dude, like, how? Like, what happened? Like, or, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm just curious. And from there, I was able to establish this I guess relationship to the homosexual community, and a lot of these people are still my friends to this day.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't fuck with what's going on today.
Yeah. Well, back then you had to be tough to be gay. Like shit, boys, you know what I'm saying? Boys coming for your head. You know what I'm saying? You gay back in the day, because you used to call somebody fucking gay, or like back in the day you used to be like, and it's on, like, boys are fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, you know, you gotta mean what you say, like, you know what I'm saying, back then. And if you really coming out and being gay, you really gay for real. Like, like nowadays it's like more trendy or whatever, and you do see how it's like pushed, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's easier to be gay.
Yeah.
But now it's being used as a cushion too. Because like some people are just using like, oh, well, maybe I am, so then they just explore that.
It's like, no, don't explore that, bro. You can't go back from sucking dick, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't turn that around.
I saw a video the other day.
You can't.
Like your situation was organic.
Right.
Like he was cool talking about it. You were cool exploring and asking your questions.
Well, I was not exploring.
Exploring. Pause.
Not exploring.
Cut that out.
You
for the record.
You had questions. Like you asked them, when did you know? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was like your curiosity was organic.
Oh shit. No. No doubt.
Time mark this.
Put
a bookmark on the time.
I gotta go pee.
No, but nowadays, dude, it's like they use it as a shield too. Like, they use it as a defense mechanism too. Like, if you challenge their even their education, like, you know, knowledge, they go petty. They get petty with like their response. You know, like, oh well, you gotta address me right. I am this and that.
What about the video? There was the guy. There was like a big tranny, and the dude kept. The clerk kept calling him sir.
Yes.
He was getting mad.
Oh yeah.
Was that not a classic ass video? Yes, that was classic. I know that's an old video.
He was like a foot taller than the clerk. I'm not a man. I'm not a sir.
It's just crazy to just like
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like me to. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay? Ma'am. Once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir. Motherfucker.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy to just play make believe with everybody. It's like
you could be whatever you want nowadays.
It's like me telling you
be
like
a cat, start meowing.
Like, legally 2 + 2 = 5 now, y'all. Like, you know, legally. So if you say against it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, no, you're a dude. So, like, you know, and naturally I am saying, sir, you're just playing dress up. I'm not going to call you Elmo because you dressed up as Elmo for the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're still who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think all that shit.
Dave Chappelle had that joke where it's like, you're walking around wearing a police uniform, and like, just because I'm wearing this uniform doesn't mean I'm an officer. Like, and like a woman dressing up as a slut. Like, just because I'm dressed as a slut doesn't mean I'm a slut. I mean, might be.
Yeah, it could be.
But, like,
there's exceptions.
There's descriptive things that we always identify, like the car's red out there. Like, that has to be something we agree on.
Yeah. If the car is red, the car is red.
Yeah, now
I mean,
if you're colorblind,
just,
you know, there's a small, you know, area for the colorblind folk that we're like, all right, y'all can't interpret the colors the same.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to hold you to that standard because you can't see the colors right.
Yeah.
But we understand there's a defect with you. You can't see the colors correctly. There's a defect with these people, and I don't mean they should be thrown out.
Yeah, nothing like that.
Disregarded.
They need help. Yeah.
Right.
They need help. Yeah. Well, because it's like, bro, if there's any other situation, right, they just happen to highlight this with this currently. But let's say it's like an Asian dude, a white dude or whatever, and he's just like, hey, well, when I was born, I always felt like I was black. And so I was raised around black people, so now I'm black. I identify as black on the census and everything. It's like, well, no, dude.
Well, there's a girl that's saying that.
Well, because that's where it's kind of getting to is you can be whatever you want to be. Like, you know, and it's just like, no, bro, you are who you are, and there's beauty in everybody's story. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, people really just be on some like, oh, you can literally be whatever you want to be, and the options are so wide open that nobody's focused on any
and it's okay at the right time at the right place. There is a reality that we should as a mankind keep, right? Like, okay, you say you're gonna be a cat, be a fucking cat. But it's like, but then you go to work,
but be a lawyer first.
You can't be a fucking office dressed as a cat and tell people to call you fucking Mr. You know what I'm saying? And they want to do that, bro. There's this one where it's like a 35-year-old dude that identifies as a baby, and this older couple adopted him.
Hey, if it works to get that free rent, man, you know it's crazy out here. Eggs are expensive, bro.
Change his diaper and shit, bro. It's just twisted.
It is crazy. It is crazy though.
But that's sexual. Like that, whatever that is.
That's some weird
sex. Well, it all is though, right? Because even the fucking, you know, because these people are identifying themselves by a sexuality, like preference.
That's
it's like,
the chick that,
and that runs her life.
But
she identifies as being.
But you know, she's so real with it, bro. You know, she got fired or misplaced from that NAACP position. You know what she does now? She braids hair. Yeah, she's real, bro. I don't know, she a real one. She does the culture. Yeah, she really in there, bro. She went to the roots. Yeah, she really. If you look it up, she really braiding hair now, dog, to pay the bills.
And
so
if people who know who that is, she used to. It was the NAACP, right? She was like
a president. Yeah, something like that of that.
Her name is Rachel Dolezal.
And she pretty much scammed them all that she was black.
Yeah,
but
I mean, she looked black in that one.
She's convincing enough to me. Yeah, at least.
I don't know about that one though.
Tanning, a perm.
The one on the left.
Yeah.
With that one.
But it's like nobody was empathetic towards her. If she's
white, right?
Let's just say she was actually black, but she was instead like, oh, I'm a man now. She would have been accepted entirely,
right?
But because she wasn't black, like, you know, it's like it's different levels.
So
it's like so where does it end? Because we would call anybody crazy. I'm not saying that's acceptable, but I'm saying like that's still crazy too. And everybody's saying this woman's crazy. Why aren't you saying your friend who's over here like dressing?
Right, it's like a stalker.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's my girlfriend. Like I'm gonna make sure I'm at her window every night. He identifies as that girl being his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. That doesn't make it.
No,
yeah.
You're fucked, bro. Like, you're not there mentally, and we need to help you. And there's nothing wrong with, like, again, like
you're sick. It's okay. Yeah.
So now to kind of group it all together, right? You were talking about the food.
Yeah.
You know, all this stuff, right? Do you think it's all part of a bigger agenda? To mess us up, bro. To keep us like obedient. To keep us like just like we could be so much better, right? As individuals, we could be powerful, dude. And if we learn in the way that Jared's meant to learn, that Alex is meant to learn, that Pablo's meant to learn, that David's meant to learn, that Bird's, you know, we could all become that kind of how John's teaching us, right? His approach to each individual is unique to that individual. We could have a society of badasses.
Yeah. But that's what they don't want.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
So it started with the Rothschild, right? Like, where he wants a nation of workers, not thinkers. So we're fucked from the get-go, dude. The cartoons they teach us, they show us as a kid. The food, like the McDonald's, the Jack in the Box, that's Matrix food, bro. And it's poison.
Yeah.
So it all, you know, the chemtrails.
Yeah.
The shit they put to spray the chemicals in the fruits to keep the bugs off.
Yeah.
All that shit starts to add up, and that's how they attack the pineal gland, our conscience, our soul, our spirit.
Well, I ate an apple the other day and it had white shit all like, what is this like? They have
wax?
saran wrap.
Wax.
That's that
appeal.
Yes, bro.
That shit is nasty.
Bill Gates apples.
Appeal, yeah.
Yeah, I got a big bag of Bill Gates apples the other day from Walmart on Kirkwood, by the way.
That's it. Yeah, man. I can't mess with any of that stuff. But you know, all that stuff is to like reverse the curse that was originally put on man. And that's that you'll have to toil with the seeds and the weeds of the ground and everything, right? And so they make all this GMO shit, but we're losing like that connectivity to like the earth and everything because it's just bullshit.
Yes.
Like, you could grow it in the desert. You know what I'm saying? Like, So like, you know, to make an organic apple or organic, you know, this or that rice, whatever, it's gonna take more patience, more time. But you know,
we're in a rush.
You're just feeding the cattle. Bro, you see how there's like fucking corn ingredients in every single thing in the grocery store, whether it's maltodextrin or like, you know,
yeah.
it's just, all corn
a bunch
shit.
of shit.
That's one of the topics we want to cover, man. Yeah.
All the stuff they put in food now.
Yeah, well, it's the stuff that we put in our bodies, because even like some of the clothes we wear has stuff
Chemicals
that
in it.
that gets inside, you know, like our skin absorbs it or irritates it a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And it's got its own vibrational
frequency.
You know? Like spandex.
Well, I mean, that I seen some stuff on that. You know, I just be scrolling sometimes, man. Right? So like they say, you know, there's a verse in the Bible that's like only wear cotton and wool or something like that. Like, you know. And so like just to have that higher frequency on you. And I mean, I think that there is truth to it, because that's like if let's just say that's only 2%. But there's 2% being taken from you in all these different directions.
That's what
the
I'm
food,
saying.
you know what I'm saying? All this other stuff,
So
like
it
the
adds
clothes.
up.
Yeah. So it's like, you're down, you know, 30-40% of what you could be.
But also the music, bro. Like Spotify, I think sets their stuff to a certain frequency, so it comes out. You know, so all of those still visual. They attack our senses. You know, so the music. In even the subliminal messages in the music, you know? Yeah. Because it was funny, I was listening to East 1999 yesterday, the Bone album.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah. So it's great, bro, but I listened to the lyrics, bro, and it's like so freaking childish. It's all about murder.
Yeah.
It's literally like, am I going to die of murder? Am I going to murder that motherfucker? I'm going to murder him for sure. So it's a niche. They picked a niche, but still, subconsciously, subliminally, we're worshiping the devil.
Yeah.
So we got the lyrics out. Which one is this one? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it's great, and I loved it. I was 16, 17 years old, bro.
Did you murder anybody?
I didn't murder anyone, not in real life.
Yeah.
But many did.
Yeah, they did.
Many did.
I'd get on GTA.
Many got on Fry.
Yeah.
Like, they talked about Fry all the time.
Yeah.
It's like embalming fluid?
Yeah, no way.
I remember that shit.
Boys are wild.
Yeah.
Who didn't hug you? You know?
Back to your
So that's another form. Dude, they're attacking the family. They're attacking the unity, bro. They really are.
Basically, what you're saying about the what we're being fed is disconnecting us.
Yes.
But this is the bridge that I see in today's world and present world, where the left and the right need to see this bridge of the right doesn't understand that the tree huggers have a point. The tree huggers don't understand that the conservatives have a point, that morals and values that have held the test of time are really important.
Right.
And they're seen more as U.S. as a business, like, yeah, we should be free to do anything. Who cares? Like, it's cheap food. We should have it. These guys are saying, no, we need to eat organic. Like, we need to love the earth. Like, those two bridges need to happen already so that we can already unify and see what they're doing to us, how they're controlling us. And I think that's been my my psyche on what I've been trying to figure out, how to philosophize, how to bridge those two camps, because they are worried about us coming together.
Yeah.
The only ones that they're deplatforming are people that are doing what we're doing. And that is trying to bring awareness of, hey, look what the people who are in charge are up to. Like, maybe we should, like, watch them a little bit more. Monitor. Yeah. Because they're monitoring us. Like,
you said it, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's through tech, through food, and they're listening.
Oh, yeah.
So,
fuck y'all.
I could be on the list. I'm sure I'm on the list.
Yeah.
You know, and it's already been proven people have been found to be on lists. If you said anything negative about COVID on a government website, Facebook literally testified and was found through Congress that they were making lists of vaccine hesitant, vaccine takers, and people in the middle because of what you posted on a government website through the comments.
It's crazy.
But also Zuckerberg's recent turnaround.
Right.
You heard about that, right?
I saw something like that like a week ago or something.
He was basically forced, and has been since Facebook has been a thing, to censor certain shit, and specifically about COVID.
Yeah.
And he feels bad, so he was waking up, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But that's a good example, you know, because it's like these people have power and billions of eyes.
Yeah, dude, that's
and
a whole
you're
other type of
censoring
pressure.
shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, he openly said it. He said it himself. He signed the letter himself.
Yeah.
So how much more proof do we need?
Yeah.
Oh,
that they're against us.
well, let's find some more.
Let's find some more.
Mm-hmm.
Can we pull up the Black Rock video? I think Pablo's the guy that looks like Einstein.
Right there.
Researchers state that BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard are the largest shareholders with 88% of the S&P firms. And morons and fucking imbeciles call this an equity market, a stock market, America, or the land of opportunity. Who the fuck are you kidding? 3 companies, and as he said, Kennedy, it's really one big company, own 88%. The crime syndicates running America. And as I'm buying up houses, Redfin said in 2023 that investors bought up 26% of affordable homes. That began, by the way, back in the Panic of 08, when there was the subprime mortgage crisis. The banks, the bandits, who got $29 trillion bailout, according to Bard College, Levy Institute at Bard College. Hey, you don't have a job? You're deep in debt? Don't worry about it. Sign over here. You got a subprime mortgage. So all these foreclosures that happened, the banksters, Blackstone, one after another started buying them up. And that's what the country's become. As I said, when I was a young man, there were grocery stores, hardware stores, stationery stores, drug stores.
That's
now
the
they're all
proof
changed.
of the money.
Researchers state that BlackRock.
So like I was saying earlier, like you can follow what they say, Jack in the Box, Home Depot. You can buy their products, but that's what the programming is leading us to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Chains.
right, and I guess it's a good time to go to the next video. Let me see. Go. Oh, you know what? I don't even think I shared it. Basically, it's showing the hierarchy of how the government here in the country has been formed, where it's us, the workers, run by the corporations. The corporations are run by the big banks. The big banks are run by the top 1%.
Whoever that is.
Whoever that is, they're not going to put
The
their faces out.
Rothschilds
The
or
Rothschilds, the
Rockefellers,
all these
Yeah.
old families who kept their bloodlines and their people intact. Those are the them, the they.
But they also own the military too, so that's why they can do what they want.
Well, I think that's why this is why I don't. I think this is why I fuck with Trump so much, is because in 2016 when he ran, I didn't fuck with politics. I didn't care. I thought it was all bullshit. But even just watching the debates and the day of who they were going to say who won the election, I noticed the news media was already celebrating Hillary Clinton to win.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, like, I don't care about either one, but if this is a true race to who's next president, why are the anchors getting ready for the first female president to be, like, as an alien who came down to Earth and to watch that election, you're like, hold on, is this supposed to be a fair race, or is this like set up for this woman to win already? Mm-hmm. And from there, I had already inklings of shit being off, but from there, my spidey senses were like mad tingling, like, ooh, something like, no, this is not
Something's
right.
wrong.
Yeah.
Something's definitely wrong.
Big wrong.
And then from there, the wormholes opened up, and I was all up in it.
Yeah, damn. I had always been like a conspiracy theorist and shit, like I come from a family that did like a lot of military time and shit, right? So like, don't trust the government, real big like, motto, right? So I didn't fuck with Trump or Hillary until the election happens or whatever. I thought Hillary was gonna win because the same reasons, you know what I'm saying? They're promoting her so much. And I didn't like Trump. I bought into the whole like, oh, he's, racist and all of this other shit, he's a bigot, all that crap. And then COVID hit, and I was like, oh, this dude knows what the fuck he's talking about. Like, this guy is more in line with me than what I thought. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, so that's when I became, like, more of a Trump fan. I wouldn't consider myself a Trumper. Like, there's extremes to both ends. It's not to be like, oh, Donald Trump, he's the next, Christ or whatever. But, like, I think he's the best out of definitely the two options, you know what I'm saying? Really the three that was, I guess, Biden or whatever.
Well, when you see their reaction to him, it proves the point even more.
Yeah, they're scared of that guy.
Like, why use all your weapons to attack this dude when you actually listen to what he says? Isn't racism, isn't any of those tropes that they try to identify him as.
Bro, but it's like they keep saying that he's aggressive and his people are aggressive, and like what have Trump supporters done lately that's been aggressive or threatening?
Well, they're gonna say
they call him a threat.
They're gonna say January 6th.
Yeah.
The insurrection. It was.
Yeah.
So what? I mean,
an insurrection is a true like your top.
Yeah,
vote.
they took it.
Yeah.
They're gaslighting the word. Again.
Right.
It's
Well,
like
people eat that
racism.
shit up. Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, they try to compare it to
Kabihachi.
like 9/11, the greatest terrorist attack and all that
so
shit.
look, right there. An organization and usually insurrection, an organization and usually violent act of revolt or rebellion against the establishment, government, or governing authority of a nation, state, or other political entity by a group of its citizens or subject. Also, any act of engaging in such a revolt. So it was getting there, but it didn't really go all the way, right?
It wasn't a revolt of like we're taking over the country. Like we're about to change.
But
the
did
fabric of
Trump tell everybody to do it?
No.
Just
He said,
it's a riot.
go
right?
peacefully and patriotically protest.
Yeah.
Just like there were protests during BLM. That's one of our rights as a citizen to protest the government.
A building that we pay for.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
It's
so-
owned by the
And it's in the Constitution, right? It's
Yes,
it's our constitutional right.
It's one of our amendments.
And them boys had the firepower in there to knock them boys out. So there's no way that they didn't have several fucking fully automatic
Oh, for
AR-15s with the this and that attachment.
You
So
think they don't go
they could have mowed them down if it was if it was a real threat. Yeah, like, but you do. I watch the videos, like, you know, you do see them boys are, you know, the cops be opening the doors for some of them.
Yes, they were
You know,
guiding-
just sitting there with their
Okay.
hands, like, you know.
So then the message got through to the other people. The other people went extreme.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, and I don't agree with what they did necessarily, but I also don't think that it was to the level that they're like painting it. Like, I wouldn't go fucking storm the Capitol,
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, this is the Matrix or whatever.
Yeah.
You know that it's not that important. You know what I'm saying? So, but
it's the gaslighting.
But
So,
it's the
like
gaslighting.
it's like the saying something's racist when it was just
Yeah.
no, it was a
Exactly.
joke. Like,
Yeah,
chill, bro.
yeah.
Did we lose the ability to laugh?
Yeah,
So that's so evil, bro. I don't like that shit.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's like, man, dude, like it's on a large scale too.
Well, did you watch the fucking the debate between Kamala and Trump? So at the end of it, they're like, man, I streamed it on MSNBC just because I don't have, like, you know, regular TV, so I'm just streaming the shit. So I fucking watched the whole thing through, and they're just like, oh, she whooped his ass tonight, basically. She just knocked him out of the park. They interviewed Gavin Newsom. Oh, you know, he got TKO'd tonight. Kamala Harris did it. And it's like, if anybody, because they don't teach you critical thinking in high school no more. That was taken out of Texas high schools, you know, because it used to be a critical thinking class you had to take, you know.
Yeah.
Like we need that.
Yeah, so like they listening to these blanket statements like equality and I believe in the rights when my mother and I were kids and, you know, being a woman of color, which not to say that she's not like a woman of color.
Yeah.
It's just that that's more commonly identified with a certain ethnicity.
Yeah, and she
right?
knows
Not the
that.
one she
Yeah,
they claim her as.
because people would be like, "Oh, you wild!" If like a Vietnamese chick was like, "I'm a woman of color," which
Yeah.
she is,
Yes.
but like
Yes.
it's more commonly identified with another ethnicity,
Right, right.
So she pulls all that stunt, and nobody really recognizes it. At least on a mainstream, like, you know, I think we talk to normal people, like people do have the same, like, you know, common grounds.
Yeah.
Man, you know, I'll be out here in Houston, man, and man, you run into some people, they really believe Kamala is the one and give her a chance because she's a woman and all these blanket statements, magical things happen when women are in charge. Like, bro, these aren't facts. Like, this guy ran businesses for years. Like,
It's
whether
the
they
MK
were...
Ultra,
Yeah.
Just use the keywords.
Yeah, keywords, bro.
And then you're like, boom, and you can
Yeah.
see 100 news stations using
Yeah.
keywords. CNN, every anchor
Yeah.
using the keywords. And it's just like, the programming is so
Yes,
simple
yes. But
Uh-huh.
then
and
it's like,
effective.
It
I'm
is.
impressed.
I am. Well, they say that most Americans like read at a 5th grade level, which is probably like less, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that you listen to the wording that she uses, everything is so simple.
it is.
And I think for Trump, like personally, I think Trump is a pretty smart dude, regardless of what anybody thinks about him. The guy has more money than any of us and any of people watching the podcast, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So fucking, you know, the guy's obviously a pretty smart dude, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah,
I mean,
because they talk
that's-
about people winning the lotto all the time, becoming bankrupt in 2 years. So I don't care if he got given his daddy's money or not. the guy knew how to flip it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, most people.
I was just saying that the other day, yesterday.
Yeah.
I was just like, don't tell me you can take $1 million and flip it to $1 billion.
Yeah.
Because there's people that can take $1,000 and flip it to $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy.
Yeah, bro. There's a lot of.
It's easy. Go fucking do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of winners
everybody
that
would do it. You know?
So this is very important, Jared, what you just said, because I feel, this is my personal opinion as Pablo, that when she speaks, she's speaking to a bunch of idiots.
Man, I hate that because like they're the uninformed, bro. Like you know, like
because she's speaking to me too, right?
Like
so
I
I hear her just as much as I listen to Trump. I listen to her, bro.
Yeah, right.
And when I get her vibe, I'm thinking like you're sitting here lying to my face and manipulating me, thinking that I'm not smart enough to know what you're doing and what you're saying. That's a disrespect.
But
bro.
she is though. She is smart enough because like you don't believe it, but like. Fucking 40 million people do.
Right.
So it's like, is she wrong or is she just doing marketing? There's people that fucking still eat at Jack in the Box.
Yes.
There's people that still, you know, shop at these.
Jack in the Box the other day.
Yeah, bro. You're not supposed to do that, by the way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
But like, because you vote with your dollar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you do vote with your dollar. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's kind of where it starts at. But yeah, man. So it's like, you know, you're not supposed to. You're so smart to say that, you know, Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, all that shit is bad. But it's like you'll still do that. And I wouldn't say like you're an idiot. It's just that you're uninformed and a lot of people don't have like another outlet or like, what have you been exposed to? A lot of people don't know about politics. A lot of people weren't raised watching or didn't pass their history classes. It's like, there should be like, I wouldn't say like a literacy test, but like more like a knowledge test on like, do you know both candidates? Now, do you know Trump or Kamala? Like,
or you shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Yeah, before you vote, what is their history? You know,
that's when they're gonna say you're racist.
Yeah, well, and see, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
Because you're hurting the people who are less.
Well, I'm ageist also. You know what I'm saying? If they're gonna try to say that, because I think that you shouldn't vote until you're like 30, or if you served in the military at 19 or whatever, you can vote then. But like, a lot of people don't have enough skin in the game. How many people are homeowners, or how many people like are business owners like that are actually turning the money, to support the economy, paying taxes and all that, to really say something. You rent an apartment, you stay at your mom's, you still owe 6 more years on your car, all that other shit. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't agree with Tim Walz, or not Tim Walz, I'm sorry, the vice president, whenever, whenever he was like, oh, you got to have kids to vote or whatever. Like, I see what he's saying because they have skin in the game. That is the fucking future, whether you like it or not.
Right.
So, but I do understand what he's saying, and not to be like, it should count more or less, but, there should be, what's your skin in the game? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't got no skin in the game, bro, you owe $50K to your fucking educational institution, you owe $20K in consumer debt, you still renting, or you're not even on the process of trying to do shit. Like, nah, bro, we don't need
their skin in the game is to get that taken
away. Like, which they saw didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can't do that, bro. Like, you'll collapse the economy.
But that's their trope. Their messaging is to be emotional.
Yeah, emotional.
To attack you emotionally and like tug at your heart, and then also to like say, what can we give you?
Yeah.
And that's why they're saying, we'll clear your college debt.
Yeah.
That's what we're
knowing you can't. Yeah.
They're like the cheerleader running for class. Class president and saying, I'm gonna put vending machines in every classroom. I'm gonna make sure we get pizza on Fridays.
You can't do that.
Then you can't do it. That's not in your powers or abilities to do it. But they're gonna market it that way.
Yep.
And the ignorance are gonna follow.
So not only do they poison us, but they rob from us.
Yeah.
Like educational rights and knowledge. We need to know these things. Dude.
Well, in
school they don't teach you really how to finance your money, how to run a business. I mean, you can learn. I mean, there's like what college classes, I guess, for business.
Yeah.
But also,
but those kids don't know
managing.
nothing. How many business graduates out there are driving Uber and doing the same shit that regular people are doing, right? Like,
so like the paper don't really get
even
you
outside of business, just college graduate.
Yeah, college graduate. I got my psychology degree. I don't do nothing with psychology. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
You see that often.
Yeah, man. So, but
None of my friends are in their
field, right? But it's survival of the fittest, though. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, just because the Venus flytrap smelled like something sweet and you fell for it, that doesn't make the Venus flytrap bad. Doesn't it make it a master hunter? So it's like, we got to understand the game that we're in, as far as like, bro, this is a fucking hunting ground. This isn't sweet just because there's a water fountain everywhere you go. Like, shit ain't sweet just because you got so-called rights. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like if people realize, like, okay, this is the world for real. This is Grand Theft Auto for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then play
it.
Like,
Grand Theft Auto to do
whatever you fucking want to do. You really,
as long as you can outrun the cops, you're good.
This is
but you
don't
it's
get
hard
the
to.
parts.
it's hard. You gotta have enough money and resources.
When the military comes in,
start going.
You can't do so much. You gotta know the codes, the Matrix for real. But it's just like people don't understand this is a game. Somebody caught you in a trap when you were fucking 20 years old. You couldn't get $100,000 business loan, small business loan, but you can get $50K worth of fucking student loan debt with no guarantee. Yeah. It's like, bro, no kid belongs with that much fucking, and I say kid, but legally they are adults, right?
Right.
But I mean,
if mentally they're kids.
Bro, my degree was in psychology, like I said, so it's just like they be teaching us that your frontal lobe ain't even fully developed until 25. So it's like you giving somebody whose brain is not developed fucking power, power and the ability to fucking vote. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so not that, anything negative towards that age group in that sense. It's just that everybody has to understand where they're at in life. Like, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's wisdom that comes with age.
Just
like,
the perspective
of,
but, I bag on a lot of college people. Because I think as you grow older and you experience real life, you start to see more people in other people. Because you had that wisdom. You've seen, like, man, I've seen the same type of dude before.
Yeah.
I've seen the same type of chick before. She's just trying to get me for something, or he's just trying to see what he can get out of me.
Yeah.
These college kids stay in their tunnels with the same kids that think alike, their same friends, for another 6-7 years before actually getting into the marketplace of real life.
Yeah.
So by the time they get there, they've got their degree, they've got their piece of paper. Like, I know, I'm smart.
Socially awkward as hell.
But they don't know shit yet. And they're the ones that are doing all this screaming right now and saying, hey, the world's fucked up and we're here to fix it, but you've never fucking lived in this world yet. You've been in college, your whole life.
Yeah, with free
I've
loans.
been in this shit since 16, bro. Like chill. Like, you don't know how people are. You don't know somebody will fucking stab you for what you got around your neck.
Yeah.
You don't know somebody will fucking break down your door to just steal what you got inside.
Yeah.
People will just shoot you up just because you're wearing the wrong colors. You
Yeah.
don't know that shit.
Yeah.
Like, live life.
Yeah.
Reality.
And then talk to me.
Yeah.
Until then, chill.
Yeah.
Listen to what I have to say. I'm listening to what you have to say.
Yeah.
You can meet in the middle. Maybe I'm not gonna agree, and then we'll move on forward. But chill with the volume.
Yeah.
And that's what I can't stand. It's the volume. It's the loud barking. It's the Chihuahua mentality.
Yeah.
Like, no, chill.
Yeah, but and think about it now. Social media, it's amplified.
Yes.
With that.
For sure.
Everybody has a voice, man. You can hear everybody at the same volume. You know.
Good.
Yeah.
But then you got the OnlyFans. Kind of like, that's a whole nother heavy side to it, you know?
Shit. I
because
mean,
it gives an illusion.
I think everybody's kind of living in that illusion world, bro. Like, there is no real world anymore. Like you were saying earlier, Bird, that fucking about how we're that bridge in the generation gap as far as like we used to run outside, go outside as kids, have real interactions as children, play cops and robbers, no, you're dead. That's the rules.
Yeah.
Play fucking football. You're not strong as me.
You're down,
you get
bro.
It's
down right
you
there.
gotta learn how to be a juker then. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
you gotta be quick if you're not as big.
Yeah.
Like, but like now it's just like the whole, if you're a kid, your whole play space is the online realm, from what I see. Like, people with children who are like, 8 years old, 10 years old, like you'd be outside playing fucking Smear the Queer. Like, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays it's like, they really online with all the stuff that I don't even know what they be doing. I don't keep up with it, right? You know what I'm saying?
It's wild, bro.
But yeah, that's where the kids are at. You could drive through any neighborhood, and not see, as far as like after school hours, you used to see everybody congregate at the field or the basketball goal or whatever, and no, not no more, bro. No. Yeah, you don't see it. So yeah, that's reality now. That is reality.
It's gonna get worse.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I'm still 50-50 on Elon.
Oh shit.
Because he's saying the right things right now, but what is his tech doing?
Yeah.
Like, his tech is getting into our brains.
And he could be like that person to play the right person to get in that position.
Well, shit.
Or he could change the world. for better.
For the better.
Yeah, he definitely is, bro. I think that
I want to like him.
Yeah.
I definitely like him right now, but I definitely don't trust him.
My spidey senses are still like alert on Elon.
Yeah, he definitely does play a dual, a double side, but I do like Elon off the face of it. I
Yes,
like Elon,
same.
right?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
love that dude, bro. Like love what he's doing.
And when he talks, he sounds like one of us. Like he's just himself.
But they
He's
can
smart
always
as
take
fuck.
the tech, you know what I'm saying? They can always take the tech from him too, or he can be manipulated out of, or because he gets government funding as well because he's doing what he's doing.
He gets so much money from so many people.
He could be just a
China.
pawn. Yeah, he could be doing this for the right reasons, just like the original fucking
But then
Tesla.
they come in,
yeah, but they own it or they have a right to it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Or they want to kill it.
they want to kill it. So
I'm just like keeping him
Yeah.
at a good pace, but I'm like, all right, you can
Yeah,
come in.
he can definitely come eat with us.
Like, I wanna talk to you more, and he's got a daughter who went through the transgender thing.
Oh, and I loved what he said about that, dude.
And that's some real shit. Like,
Yeah.
like as a father, like, and seeing what I felt was true, honest pain, like him losing his kid to
his son.
these mentalities.
Yeah, dude, because that stuff you can't come back from, dude.
And that's real. That's rough, rugged, and raw.
That's not choosing the wrong degree. That's not fucking going to jail for 2 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, this never
That's
comes
emotional.
back.
Dude.
Yeah, man.
Well, I have videos of trans kids who are in their 40s and 30s who are just pissed that they were allowed to do what they did to their bodies.
Yeah.
Because they realized as an adult, like, fuck,
That was
like,
dumb.
I
I wasn't
I
ready
didn't know
to make
what I
these
wanted.
types of
Like,
decisions.
Well, they have that one. They did an experiment, like I think back in like the 80s or something. This doctor tried to do like a circumcision on a boy, and he botched it. So like they just decided to raise that 6-month-old or whatever 6-month-old as a girl because they fucked up on the circumcision. So
he took too much off?
Yeah. And so, but because his hormones were still developing at that same rate, they're still treating him like a girl, and you're raised as a girl, you've been Jennifer or whatever since you were a fucking baby.
But no uterus.
But and then, because, I think they put like, they formed it to be, what it needed to look like. But he killed himself. He killed himself.
So wait, this is the one that...
This is like an older one. This is like, I think from like the 70s or 80s.
But once the person got older, she killed himself.
Yeah, because you just can't deal with it. Like like you was born to be. Yeah, you were born to be what you were gonna be. Like it just is what it is. Like like
you were
this
lied
is
to your whole life.
Yeah.
But think about it, that's happening to a lot of us now. We live in a false, reality.
People can't stand it.
Like think about it, bro. Like connecting with nature. Like putting your feet to the grass, to the trees, to the sun. Expose yourself in elements, like, dude, that stuff fuels us. And all that gets robbed by this other bullshit.
Well, yeah, because we're the only what's it called, species that questions sexuality and even has a thing around that. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll be like, oh, but my boy dog humps other boy dogs. Well, he don't penetrate other boy dogs for shit, sure. I don't know what's going on in his head, but he ain't penetrating, and the other dude ain't catching it either. Like, you know what I'm saying? So. Like, so to say that is because you'll hear that argument. So, oh, my dog hump other boy dogs. Like, nah, it's a different thing that's going on.
You haven't obviously been a boy.
Your boy dog gay.
You haven't been a little horny toad. Like we are when we're adolescents.
But that's a whole other topic, bro. Because it's like being a human, being in this body, bro. It's so confusing, like the way that our like neurons blow up and stuff like that, But it's also like with other stuff like music, like if you want to play sports, what if you're good at both music and sports? Which one do you follow? I mean, you could probably do both, but one of them is going to require more. And if you want to make it your livelihood, like if you're going to be a professional athlete or if you're going to be a musician, like, I mean, nowadays people be like, nah, man, you got to get in the books. You ain't going to be no musician from the get-go. I
mean, the rate of failure is different, though. You're
right, but also it's like the fact is that what we're exposed to. Like, oh, you got to go to school, you got to go to college, you got to be a doctor or a firefighter or a cop or a teacher. You know, like they don't tell you like, oh, you could be an artist and be very well off. You know, you could be a teacher, but a different kind of teacher. You could be a life coach. You know?
And well off is subjective.
Yeah, that is subjective.
It is.
Bro. Yeah.
Like, well off doesn't mean you're partying on yachts and
money.
Mm-hmm.
Well
you're
off
happy.
means you just have
chill.
everything you need. You got a
peace of
loving
mind.
family, loving community around you, and friends, and
you live in a studio.
you
know,
you
got a 1986.
You don't worry about money because you live a simple life. Like that's what
no, it's true.
Yeah,
and that's perspective right there. And that's kind of where I was going with, like the way that we see things, you know, because it's like we're told, well, if you're not following this track, then there's something wrong with you. So I mean, I feel like that kind of messed me up. I feel like school wasn't for me. I feel like, you know, I've had hundreds of jobs, bro, and I've never felt that place at any of the jobs, you know? So now in my 40s, I'm like, damn, I'm trying to rewire my whole brain up, you know, from the damage. So I was blessed with the gift of knowing that and understanding that, okay, time to reset. Some people can't understand that. It's like, oh, well, I'm just stuck this way, so now I'm just going to keep on trucking and I'll work till I'm 65 and retire.
And they never do.
Right. So it's a mentality. It's the way that you see it. It's the way that you... Because, I mean, you and I can go walking down the street and we see a murder or something bad happen. Yeah. Our paths are going to go our separate ways because of how we saw that. You saw that situation totally different than I saw it. That could have ruined me. I could have been traumatized forever, and I don't ever want to go outside again. You know, or you could be like, oh shit, man, I gotta protect. I gotta learn how to protect, survive.
Things people interpret things.
So some of those things change your path. You know, and then you build defense mechanisms. You build walls. You know, like your relationship with people are gonna be different. So that's just one scenario. You could have had some family shit
for sure,
or you know, people
That's why foreigners, to me, have such a love and an appreciation for this country, because a lot of these people come from war-torn countries. Like we don't deal with that here.
You gotta worry about getting mortar shells flying in your front yard. Go get some groceries.
Or
and
your government's like beheading people. Or
kidnapping people.
Nobody has anything to eat.
You steal, you get your arm chopped off.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, I saw a video in Palestine of this kid there at a park, and then all of a sudden, bro, you hear start hissing. Something falling, bro, and they're looking around, and the next thing you know, you see a fucking bomb just blow up. And I'm like, bro, you got it so real to me just watching that video. Because I was like, oh my God. Like, I thought of my nieces and my nephews, my great nieces, bro, and I'm like, thank you. First, I thank God, because I was like, damn, we're blessed to be here.
For putting me here. And not in a war zone.
But I felt
fucking zone.
Right. But I felt for the kids. I'm like, bro, like they that's a whole different world that they live in than what I know. And that's a child.
War, like for real, like Call of Duty real shit though.
And you got a fucking chunk of wall this big just fly at your head.
People crush your aunt.
Exactly.
Your uncle.
Now your uncle's brains are on the ground. Like, oh,
they come over here and go to college and they just fucking excel.
Have y'all seen Coneheads?
Nah, man, I haven't seen Coneheads, but I remember the old movie.
Conehead, old movie.
I seen it years ago.
You remember that one, Alex? So that's the perfect example of them coming to America. He fucking was a cab driver. And he's an alien. They're aliens. They come from another planet, right? They're escaping or whatever. But it's like a refugee, basically.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a good story, bro. If you have a chance, it's a comedy. It's Dan Aykroyd. Watch it. Okay. It's a good watch. But they come to America and they're like, bro, we chilling. Like, this is where it's at. Here. I get to drive a cab for 10 hours a day and come home to some hamburgers and hot dogs. All right. So that's the kind of life that, like, my mind, bro, I think differently and I see the world differently, bro. And like, I feel compassion, I feel love, I feel consideration, you know, like, I wish we could all be like that, and I get it. We're not, and I think that's part of the human experience. You know, like we're meant to experience it differently and to see other. You know, like one of my immediate best friend was Iranian, so and then I had an American friend, my boy Peyton. He's a white boy, and my boy Colin. He was like Creole, you know, mix black, but most of my other friends were black. So I never knew racism, bro. Like I didn't even
Yeah.
realize I had black friends till my mom mentioned it one day. She was
Yeah.
like, "Why do you hang around with a lot of black people?" I'm like, "No, I don't."
Yeah.
But then I thought about it. I was like, "Oh shit, I do."
Maybe I
But then
do.
that made me feel good.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
So let's just all get along, man.
yeah.
Simple, man.
And it's okay to not know some things, you know, and also like getting together with like-minded people, you know, and people that like but have the same beliefs and like I mean
Yeah.
you gotta learn, bro. We all you're never too old to learn. Life as we grow, we're learning more and more and more and more, you know. So it's
I think the big thing too is to remind everyone is that we're not white and black. We're shades of brown.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's no true black person. There's no true white person.
Yeah.
And again, it's that splitting of people to make things easier for them to control.
yeah,
And I just like a black person who has a certain blood type can use any person's kidneys
yeah.
as long as they match the insides. Like
Yeah.
it's
No matter what color they are.
it's like a black Kia is no different than a red Kia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll use
Yeah.
the same engine parts.
You'll see a black Kia with a red panel.
Yeah, it runs perfect.
You know,
Run faster than some of yours.
so what we're seeing here is the simplicity of to break down racism. Like we're all the same. It's just a tool and a weapon that the higher powers use to keep us divided and fighting and
Yeah.
distracted and chaotic inside. You know, because if we eliminate that, what's important? You know, friendship,
Yeah.
relationships with your families. How are you gonna raise your kids? You know.
This is why I thought Kanye, when he was running for president, had some good points. Like one of his ideas was to make it to where there's no more big grocery store chains, but within each community there's a farm that your homeless work on, that your people who don't have good jobs work on, and that farm feeds that direct community. You don't ship it anywhere. You're getting the freshest, cleanest stuff,
Wow.
and you know that's how you serve these centers of people. Like that's a good idea to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not out of this world that it couldn't happen because we want to find something for our homeless to do.
Yeah.
Maybe they can smoke weed while they
Yeah. While they
turn
do
crops.
that. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
For
I guess
real.
they're doing something. They're
Yeah.
doing worse out there in the street than
Yeah.
growing some peaches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it's also like in a free flowing environment, and kind of like, dude, you make that person functional.
yeah.
You
yeah.
give it an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, but I don't know. I mean, that's I would imagine that would take a while. It would be a
course.
progress to get there. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad fucking
idea.
idea.
Yeah,
but, you
they
know,
would say it's like slavery or something like that.
Oh,
If you
yeah,
like,
right.
got 20 homeless people were like, hey, we're taking them to the farm. You know what I'm saying?
But they eating though.
But like, that's the thing though, is like, man, I've done a little bit of traveling and stuff, and you don't see as many homeless people in other countries, like, countries that you really think are like, low, because
Bad.
especially,
Low.
especially being in the echo chamber of the United States, you know what I'm saying? You think that other countries will be like, oh, like I went to Thailand, for instance, and was like, oh, I don't know what to expect there, extreme
Yeah.
poverty, of course, but like, you would see that, but you wouldn't see like actual homeless people and people just doing fucking drugs. Houston homeless, man, they would be walking around naked, like wiping their ass towards the street.
Bro,
like,
it's bad, man.
Yeah, it'd be wild downtown, man. So
On Main Street too.
Main
now.
Street,
Now they're
bro.
on Main
Yeah,
Street.
yeah. I live right off of Main.
It's gotten worse too.
Yeah, on Main Street. Have you been down there?
Well, I used to
Not in a
work.
while.
I used to work down there. I haven't been down there in a while, but I could imagine because it was bad 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So now it's worse, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it's just the amount of people that they're there, and it's like happening while during nightlife. Like at
Okay,
11,
yeah, because there's all the
midnight.
clubs and shit down
Yeah.
there. and the
So now
bars.
they're mixed in, bro.
Now they're just
Yeah.
walking around. They're
and it's a
probably breaking into
trash.
cars and shit
yeah.
like that.
I mean, I
Well,
don't know about all that, but yeah,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But the thing is, bro, it's
They
like
used to be at the bus station.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yes,
that was
the
where you
Greyhound.
usually
There's a
find
bridge
it.
right
Mhm,
there.
mhm.
The bus station
The
is
McDonald's right there.
But I heard they can't go there no more. They must have just
The
I don't know.
McDonald's, they just cleared that
Yeah,
road from the
the
face of this
McDonald's,
earth.
yes.
That's how he
The
never
McDonald's,
existed.
I saw it. I
bro.
drove by there the
Yeah.
other day. I was like,
McDonald's
what?
gone.
Yes.
Well, they
No
said
shit.
I was reading some stuff,
But
bro.
even the bus
Yeah,
station is
they were gonna
different
hit
too.
you up in the
The
line.
bus station, I don't know.
Like
to
when
me,
you
it kind of
stick
looks
your head out the
similar,
window,
but I know
you know?
they were saying that TDC, I guess, was just like, let's just say you're someone who doesn't have no support system or family, and you got locked up in like Harris County or whatever, and your shit was a state charge. So they're gonna ship you down with no resources and just drop you off at the Houston fucking metro or whatever.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
wow.
And then what? Like, you know, you don't have a fucking phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you get a lot of people, I guess, just trying to rehabilitate, come back to, like, you know, regular world and shit like that as well. So, yeah, dude. So, yeah, there's that side of it.
Still more.
But, yeah, them boys be zombies out there. Like, you know, real zombies, bro. Like, on some non-religious shit, like, they're not doing no seances, none of that shit, but this shit be demonic, bro. Like, you know, just how far you can see a human not be a human.
Right.
Like, you know,
Right.
like...
A lot of them got mental health issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, living like that fucks your mind
fucks
up,
you
know?
up, dude.
But not only that, but also from the get-go, they were fucked up.
Yeah, because it's not every...
It might have been why they were shunned out of their families or whatever. 'Cause they just, you know, they were fucked up in the head.
Sometimes it was
So
drugs, though.
think about it though. Then they have to learn how to survive like that,
Yes.
how to live like that.
That's
So and I
rough.
mean, dude, the streets are gritty, bro. Like you
sure.
get jacked for fucking some new pair of pants when you're
Dude, I be
homeless.
talking
You know?
to some of these
No
people,
bathrooms. You know what I
There
mean?
you
Like,
are.
it's
Yeah, over here
crazy.
too.
Talk
Yeah.
about where they came from.
Yeah. How'd you get here? When was the first time you smoked crack? Like, all that
Those
type
are
of shit.
good YouTube channels too. You know, the ones that interview the homeless and you hear their stories and stuff. You know,
Some of them are pretty powerful.
it is sad, very powerful. That's what I'm saying. Because some, you know, got a lot to say,
A
but
lot of it was just you get fired, little trouble at home, and then somebody do something to crack, and then boom.
Right.
damn.
You got that programming.
Yeah.
You got rattled. You saw a different side of it. You don't know how to handle it. Boom, bro. I mean, I had an addiction for a long time, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, that's a whole different side of life that I experienced, dude. I mean, I don't definitely wouldn't take it back because it made me who I am today.
Sure.
But also I was blessed. Like God definitely had a path for me, you know. But mental issues, dude. Mental health is vital.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
you know, in Hispanic culture, bro, like that's not an option, dude.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
you gotta,
What feelings to get fucking feelings? Get your ass
Yeah,
to work.
your therapist is a lawnmower, they say.
Yeah.
Them dishes need to be talked to. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
hey, that's your therapy, though.
That's
That's
it.
your shit, right? So-
I didn't have no daughters.
But I mean, so think about it. So this is what Ruffled Feathers wants to do, you know, like introduce or shine a light on that part of life, you know, the good parts, like the man. Yeah, parenting is hard, and I can imagine from Alex, and you know, I don't know if you have kids, but it's like you have to out of yourself to teach and to not only teach but to direct and to guide and to prepare them for the world. And who are you gonna put out onto the world?
You're gonna be a good follower to be a good leader.
Yeah.
That part, dude.
And then they teach you shit, and then you get humbled.
Yeah. Right.
But that's beautiful. That's beautiful, bro. And it's like, man, you know, we as people and as men can be pride and be like, how are you gonna know more than I am? But we gotta surrender to that and be like, it's okay to learn from a 15-year-old. It's okay to learn from a 7-year-old. Like, fuck, man.
Too, when a mind hasn't been told no so often, it's more open. Like Albert Einstein, when they autopsied his brain, they said visually he had the same developmental age of a 4-year-old.
What?
And I think it's because he didn't restrict himself from saying, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like I meet people all the time where I'm like, hey, why don't you try this? And like, you can't do it like that. I'm like, why not? When I taught myself how to tattoo. There was things that people were telling me like, well, no, you can't do it like that. It's just not. I'm like, why not? I can try it.
Yeah.
And I tried shit and they're like, well, I just tried it. You telling me no is not gonna stop me from doing it, but it stops most people from doing things.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the story about his brain is like. He was able to think so above us all because he had no restrictions.
He didn't limit himself.
He was limitless.
Limitless.
And that is, bro, because the mind is that powerful. So the only limits that we have are those that we place upon ourselves.
Yeah. It's crazy, too. His story is kind of crazy because he was like an accountant for like until 30, 40 years old, right? He was just a normal dude. And then I wonder what he got exposed to in order to just be like,
bingo.
Like, this is it. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is my moment. I'm going to do these things.
Because he helped with the atom bomb, right?
Yeah. He helped on a lot of different stuff, bro. Like, I mean, as far as I know, he was that guy. You know, I don't know a lot of history about him, but I knew he was like a normal dude at first, you know, just a regular like accountant. And just until 30, 40 years old, and then just fucking got it one day and
that's
started
hopeful.
going.
I was stuck in the loop of.
There's still hope
working.
for us all.
Yeah, shit.
You got time. You got time.
I'm next. Yeah, my next.
I'm ready to take
my time now.
I don't want to be in administration no more. I want to be shortstop.
Hey. Never lose your dinosaur.
Yeah.
You know where that's from?
Nah.
Beautiful line.
What is it? Step Brothers?
Oh yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that?
shit. Nah, I had seen a little bit of Step Brothers and stuff, but I had never really gotten into like all like Talladega Nights and all that. The only like dumb ones from that like little genre of movies, that period, was like what's it called? What was that first one that they came out with? Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
good one.
Yeah, classic. And then
Hell
Superbad, bro.
So,
Superbad.
is a
But
good
then
one,
after that,
yeah.
it was just like everything was just kind of like dumb. You know what I'm
bro,
saying? Yeah.
40-year version is good.
Okay.
Grandma's Boy.
I seen. I did like a little bit of the. What's the one where he's like a news anchor or whatever?
Anchorman?
Yeah, that was fucking
Bro, you
funny,
gotta
dude.
watch it
Yeah,
again, bro.
that was funny.
Because this shit is fucking
Yeah,
great. dude.
yeah.
Grandma's
It is
Boy.
dumb.
Yeah.
It is dumb.
But sometimes
It's
you
good
gotta
rap.
relax
Shit is a
from
little
the
funny.
stress of life.
Nah, somebody came over the other day. They
Some
were
dumb
like,
shit.
they're like, bro, are you watching shit on like finance and shit? And I'm just like, damn, I do need to watch. So like last night I
trying to
started
get it,
like a
though.
new series on Netflix or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, but
Yeah,
what you
well, like,
need
yeah,
is what
maybe
you
I need it. Yeah.
you expose your brain to what you need. You know.
Yeah, because sometimes I get too serious.
Yeah.
I'm all like, fuck, we got this, that to do for the podcast. I got this, that for this tattoo person. I still got to hit this person.
Yeah.
And sometimes dumbing it down helps you get
Yeah.
better at the smart shit.
Yeah. You need that mental break, man.
And that's where the art comes back.
Yeah.
'Cause that is art. You know?
Art.
Yeah.
Comedy is art.
Art is where it's at, man.
Art is life.
Art is life.
I feel like, people are so out strategized, and if you believe in survival of the fittest, like, the enemy knows, they have the most power because they do have the most knowledge. You're talking about MK Ultra earlier, from CIA experiments where they really trying to figure out how people think and what makes them tick, and attention span, and how to influence, so... Like, they've been studying the human condition for a while.
Since Nazi Germany and before.
Yeah, and it's survival of the fittest. And, the people who, everybody's kind of predisposed to the situation that they're born in the United States. You know what I'm saying? But not
or all over the world.
all over the world. But you definitely see just like how the United States divides everybody up so much. Like, you go to like Colombia, places like that, like they're not going to be like, oh, that guy's black. It's like, no, he's Colombian. That guy's white. No, he's Colombian.
It ain't even a factor. It ain't even a thing.
Yeah. So, but like you see how they slice it up, and So, but not to take away from, mental power and how much you can, outdo yourself. Like I was saying earlier, shopping, your dollar is a vote, but people, it's so convenient to go ahead and grab that 99-cent candy bar or whatever it is. Like, I think
I like that.
Yeah. It's like we've been out strategized. Like when the enemy is everywhere.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And we've allowed it as well because nobody's trying to bring up like, oh, high fructose corn syrup, yellow number 2, all that stuff being in the food supply. Red 40.
But that's this is where we're at that junction again because this is what's hurting them.
Yeah.
Us having these conversations was hurting them, and they didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
They released the internet on us,
Yeah.
But then they didn't account for us talking to each other easier.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. We're like, hey, man, like, bro over there in New York, in the UK, mate, listen to me, mate.
Hey, mate.
Like,
bloke.
Like, we talking, man. We're talking. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Like, let's go, man. Like, they're after you too, mate. Like, we got to be that way because it is that way. But this country had the blueprint of how to live.
Yeah.
And it got taken over, like all corruption happens. Yeah. And that's where we're at.
Well, they keep trying to change it and try to integrate new methods, but it's more part of how to control us. I feel like everything gets added, or just to figure out more ways to control us and to keep us numb.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you believe in all that one world order shit, the United States was like that blueprint of taking different cultures and erasing that culture for like, and not that I don't like consumerism to a degree, but like they replace it with consumerism like we're talking about. So it's like, it doesn't matter what culture you come from, everybody wants that Louis Vuitton fucking jacket or that, big gold chain, the Rolex, the car, the house, so you know, and they'll stab you in the back to get it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
a status statement.
Yeah.
But those are minds that are weak.
Yeah.
They haven't been taught the way.
Yeah.
Because like we talked about before, you can buy it, I can buy it, but I bought it because I've earned it and I wanted it.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, and I would buy one from 10 years ago and
it
would probably be more expensive, but
yeah.
my point is like, I don't care if it's in the now. I bought it because it looked good.
Yeah, you liked it.
Right. Yeah, I liked it. I spent the money on it. I bought the card because I liked it.
Yeah,
you know, like, but I'm not spending it on everything I see and just to show off to you. Right. It's the showing off part that's that you're fucking losing it.
And people aren't protected. You know, they want to talk about the government and all this other stuff. It's just like, you know, people don't save money. If boys saved up 50 racks or 20,000, 30,000 and just had that behind them, got out of debt, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just lived a healthy life financially. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you can play the consumer game.
Yeah, you can play the game. Yeah, you can go get some fucking.
You live in the matrix that way, and that's my point. It's like you live by the matrix at your own, your standards, not at its standards.
Yeah,
because we have to live here together in the matrix together, because that's what a society is. It's people agreeing to like be peaceful and live together without getting into war. Because that's what history has shown man to do.
Yeah.
So we're at that point again where we've never been connected, at least within this lifetime that we know of humans. You know, we can talk about the Egyptians and before that, but I'm talking about with the cluster that we know of now. We've never been disconnected before, and that's a good thing and a fucking bad thing.
Yeah.
I think there's still some time for us.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful, bro. Like, I mean, I'm always optimistic. The goodwill always win. You know. Triumph, but it's sometimes you doubt it, man. Like you see so many people doing so much bad and get away with it.
Yeah.
You know, and like the laws of the laws that man made can be broken, but the laws of the universe and the laws of God cannot. Dude. So that's where it really all comes to.
Well, I think that's kind of the thing about it, is that it kind of does have to come to an end, you know. Like, and that is kind of like what like Scripture would even say is like, man, it's gonna be this one world fucking government. They're going to go on one monetary system. Like, you're going to have to take the fucking mark of the beast type shit. And I think that's what the COVID vaccine kind of was like. Because imagine if, like...
It was a trial.
Imagine if, like, you did have all this information that they say they can fit into these little shits. Like, you know, oh, you can fucking swipe your card. You have your diabetes info on there. You go to the hospital, like, whatever, like, right? You know... So imagine they did that and convinced everybody. They just convinced everybody for their health to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? In just, 6 weeks, people were taking this vaccine. Like, whatever it was. Right? I could be
standing up for it.
Yeah, standing up for it. And it's like, now they're finding all these things. Dr. Fauci ain't even a real, like, medical doctor and shit like that. So it's just like, how foolish is the crowd, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think that, personally, like, not to be morbid, but, like, you know, again, going back to survival of the fittest, there's going to be those of us that know and we have to move a certain direction and way. And if you don't know, it's just like, how do you know? Freedom to access to information right now is fucking crazy. If you don't know about what's going on, then like, honestly,
I say it all the time.
Almost like fuck off. Like,
YouTube is going to make more money than colleges eventually, because what people are doing on YouTube and teaching trades and skills for free for money back from the platform is going to make most colleges obsolete. But again, I don't think they accounted for that shit. That's where they're also trying to make restrictions on the internet and who controls it.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever read that book, Outwitting the Devil? So he talks about that, like, because he goes like, well, don't you control? It's like his candid conversation with Satan himself, right? The author, right? And he's having this conversation with Satan. And he's like, I'm not like a religious figure. He's like, I'm the negative. But he goes like, oh, well, don't you hate these big radio places because, or love these big radio places? Aren't you behind it? Telling Satan, like, aren't you behind all the radios and the entrepreneurs of the world, the gasoline moguls and all that type of shit? He's like, I hate them. He's like, they bring information to and forth from the city. Now the city and the country are connected in real time so that information can be gathered and passed. Now the only thing is that people have been dumbed down to where they don't care about information. The information that they're getting is that Adam 22 shit that we were talking about, or like whatever negative shit, whatever negative realm that your genre is in. Like, people have different genres of shit they pay attention to.
That's crazy.
It could be that weird ass fucking no offense, you know what I'm saying, to like anime people, but you know, some people be heavy in the anime, some people be heavy in the, you know, the Adam 22 shit, different rap blogs, like whatever it might be, you know, but it's like, it's all bullshit, you know, versus how many people actually watch the full, like we were talking about, the full presidential debate,
right?
Just to know and understand what's going on. How many people know what, you know, how that last housing market happened, you know, the Dallas housing market crashed in 2008, how that shit happened, like, you know, nobody can really tell you. So, but yeah, bro.
But they can't tell you much of anything of substance other than their vice. Information that they get, and that's what's scary. Because I ask people all the time, like, yo, because they'll bring it up and like, yeah, I can't stand Trump. I'm like, well, what do you not like about him? Like, well, you know, he's racist. I'm like, what has he said that's racist? And they're like, you know, how,
don't play.
Don't play. It's like, no. If you're gonna label somebody something so ugly as racist, that's like you can't just run around calling people murderers for that same reason. That's like you can't do that unless, like, because it reminds me of people where they always say, "Oh man, like don't talk to him. You're not gonna like him. He's an asshole."
Yeah.
And it happened at least 4 times in my life where people are like, "Oh, you're not gonna like them. Like, don't be cool with them." And then I end up meeting them and talking to them, and they end up being good friends or good people. And I'm like, had I just listened to those people, I would have never met this person and created this friendship. Which is all this is to say is that people don't always have your best interests.
But they also create a false image of that person, you know, or like and you could have missed that opportunity. You know, just by
following. By not doing your own research. By not trying to find out for yourself.
It's all there. It's just, you know, people are so hooked with the, you know, the cool, quick shit. You know, and I find myself victim to it too. It's not to say I'm perfect, right? Like, it is fun to just kind of zone out on you know,
we
Instagram.
like making content like that.
Yeah, it's
like
fun,
we talked about earlier. Like, you have to have a mix. To stay sane, balance. Because if I stayed in the wormhole, bro, I'd be depressed.
You're never coming out, dude. So man, sometimes it is valuable for that, but you know, you can just kind of see it's just an attack on just, you know, people's IQ, man. Like, and people, it's just, you get in these conversations and people just don't know a whole bunch. It's just crazy, man.
But they're opinionated.
They're very opinionated, and their opinion matters because that's how they feel, and because how you feel, like, you know, that's not fact. Like we were talking earlier, it's like, that's not fact. That doesn't mean anything.
The false confidence, dude, or the confidence in their uncertainty is dangerous.
Their ignorance.
It's very dangerous. But they're so like confident too. They'll blur it out. You know, and be like, oh shit. Sometimes it's too late, dude. Like, the words have power, and you know, I mean, what you say, it impacts. Like,
well, and you know, that's what I would like about stuff like that debate. You know, okay, like, if we could do it, why we only have, like, what is it, an hour and a half to debate? Like, why can't we have it for 3 or 4 hours and y'all fact check as we go along? We take the time. The debate could still be the same questions and all that stuff, but fact check as we go along. Why did this happen? Oh, well, because the domino effect of this, and this is how it happened, so that people can understand. Okay, did you vote on this or that, or this candidate believes in this or that? Well, why did they come to that conclusion?
I like the podcast idea.
Put
them on a podcast.
A podcast would be great. Like,
go 4 hours.
Joe Rogan.
Go 4 hours.
Go
4 hours.
Check everything.
Live, dude. Because we
but
have that ability.
They won't do it. I mean, maybe one person will do it, the other won't.
Right.
Yeah, but we know all about, like, celebrity relationships, so we can dig deep into that. But, like, you know, when it comes down to these presidential candidates, it's like, where's the information at? How come that's not, like, more important or more of a topic? And people just don't care. That
scares me, dude. That people know more about celebrities' lives, backgrounds, and you know, than, like, their own selves. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, that's how you know the programming is working.
It's
and
real.
It's very real, and it's very present.
It's just more intriguing, I guess, because, you know, the information is there. You can Google up, like, whatever each person has done and stuff like that, but I guess they press the Rihanna, they press the Jay-Z, they press the Beyonce.
Maybe it's the lacking of realness in their own lives, you know?
That's true too.
My life is so boring, so I'm gonna go study Rihanna for a week. You know?
And like, I don't have anything going on. I'd rather live that life than...
Man, bro, I mean, look, I sometimes feel like I've already wasted a lot of time in ignorance. For up to my maybe mid-30s, bro, I feel like I was unconscious. Like, I really honestly truly feel like I didn't care about anybody else's feelings. I wasn't worried about what damage I was causing. I was only worried about myself. But I remember it was just so like blind, dude. Like it was just like I was just existing. There was no purpose, no reason, no why, no what, you know?
Yeah.
So then after that happened, bro, it was during my addiction that I came to the reality, like, holy shit, like, who am I? What am I doing? What have I done? You know? So then I started, how many women I hurt, you know, how many hearts I broke, how many lies I told, how many shit I, you know, did wrong. Mm-hmm. And that just made me go deeper into the addiction, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So to have that reality that I can have a boring or just mediocre life bothers me, bro. It gets me to a core. It gets to me to a deep core that there's more to this, bro. And as we're human, because this is a physical world. Like we have a body. This is the flesh,
there's
you know.
Rules,
There's limits to the spirit, but there's also like limits that can be broken that your mind sets to the body, but that you can do it, you know.
Yeah.
And it could be just simply, I mean, I don't know, like writing a book. Creating a new podcast, you know, starting a coffee shop business, you know, I mean, anything, bro. But it's like giving life approaching life in a different perspective, right? Like kind of like with love. Yeah. Give love. Like say, okay, why do I want to make coffee? Like, man, I want people to enjoy good coffee. You know, I like coffee, and sometimes I get shitty coffee when I go to the gas station or blah blah. Okay, so you put that little bit of love into it, dude. That tastes that much better. People feel that.
Stick right.
You know.
Mm-hmm. The controller. Huh?
So like,
have you ever heard of Joe Dispenza?
Yes, bro. Yeah,
he's hard with it, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so what I was saying is like these people that you say like they accept it or they just kind of flow like that. It seems like a boring life, right? Like I mean, like you gotta explore. Like there's gotta be more to this. Like,
but is it also not reserved and so special because only so many people find it too? Because like you have to understand is that you ask the question. That's where it starts at, is like, is there more? And some people say, fuck it, it's not even worth trying to find that out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because for some people, like, you know, like we were talking about, there's different levels and stuff earlier. It's just like some people are happy with that general baseline, you know, life of living. You know what I'm saying?
Like, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do.
That's fine. Tell me what's popular on TV so I can know the TV jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like all that type of stuff so that I can keep up with the water cooler jokes. You know what I'm saying? But like, man, there's different conversations being had out there, and it's like.
But do you think they're happy? I don't think they're happy.
So, well, it's just like, what's the definition of happiness? It's like maybe because they fit in, they're happy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because who wants to really know themselves? Like everybody knows, like. Who's taking the time, if you have to try to get to know yourself or whatever, like, that takes a lot of work, you know what I'm saying? Like, that takes a lot of internal shit, depending on your background especially. Right. Like, to be able to, hey, even know how to ask these questions and internally check in. Why do I feel this way? Why am I feeling so aggressive right now? Why do I feel so passive right now? Like, you know, so, like, to even know to ask these questions, it is reserved for, like, an elite few, you know what I'm saying, to spiritually, you know, get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to say that anybody's worse or any other lifestyle's worse, but it's like, you don't want to just necessarily subject someone to something that they don't want to fucking be exposed to. Like, you'll try to expose people to themselves or, like, actual historical facts or, like, you know, whatever it might be. Hey, this is what this is. And they're like, I don't even give a fuck. Like, I'm still going to fucking watch the, you know, CMT Awards, the BET Awards, the fucking Grammys. Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, dude, like, you know, so I don't know if it's just for everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because like you're saying, the information's there, like, you know what I'm saying? The information's there if you wanted it, you know, so yeah, dude.
No, yeah, because you're, like I said earlier, you're not going to end racism and you're not going to end ignorance. People are going to choose that. And you're free to choose. Like, I see on the other side, though.
Okay. So now I'm going into the spiritual world now, right? Like, how do you feel about reincarnation?
Oh, reincarnation? Shit, you know, I was introduced to somebody a couple years ago that I was like, it made me reconsider my stance on reincarnation. But like, I personally, face value, don't necessarily believe in it just because of my religious beliefs on it, as far as like, you know, coming from, you know, the Hebrew Bible, you know, but what's it called? Yeah, man, he introduced me to some new shit to where it's like, maybe we have, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we have had, like, other lives. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't say anything about that in what I read, you know, my Bible. But, like, it does fucking, it is sound, you know, convincing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
you see the ability of this being.
How, you know.
The reason I ask, and the reason that I believe it could be possible, is that if we don't get it in this lifetime, if you become a slave to the program and you just live your life, whatever, boom, you got to get it at some point, right? Like, it would be a wasteful time to come to be a human and not get that, because there's only certain things that we can receive as a human, right? Like, I feel like certain things like compassion for another, when you help and you give to somebody that you know you can never help you back. There's gold in that. There's jewels. There's a priceless gift that comes with that. But I think that can only be experienced as a human, right? Some people may never experience it, bro. You know, you could be born into wealth. You may go to college and you may get the job and be happy and continue that wealth, but really never do anything different. You just did what you told. You just float.
That's why
right
the
through.
idea of that is, you know, it makes. Like,
so then,
it's a cool idea.
But then your next life, you're a peasant girl in 500 BC somewhere.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's
like,
kind of why I do like that idea of it. You know, I do like the idea of like reincarnation, because getting to experience like what it's like to be, you know, a poor person in Asia. You know, Asia,
what if that's purgatory? You know.
Right, or if there's levels, or there's levels of humanity.
It's just renamed a different way, or it's lived a different way, you know?
Well, what if all is one and one is all?
Exactly.
And you've lived it just by being alive, because, you know what I'm saying, everybody is just so connected. At least we would say that we're connected in the living, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like those cells really never die. They just have only replicated, like, you know, through, you know, just like two cells come together and replicate, two people come together, replicate. Those cells and that memory locked in the cells is still there. So it's like, you know, maybe it's just a full like memory of all of these lifetimes. So that's where empathy comes from. So you can look at somebody who you've never been homeless and you'd be like, damn, I feel for that person.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Or you never been, you know, like you never been black, but you'll hear like a racist story that's like for real racist, and you're just like, damn, that sucks.
Up,
like, you know what I'm saying? That's fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm not that ethnicity, or I'm not, you know, this type of person or that person, but like, you can put yourself in their shoes, and be like, damn, I felt that though.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
okay, so look, Alex, can you pull up the egg on YouTube? Have you ever heard of that?
What's the egg?
Have you ever heard about the egg? It's
No.
a passage, a short passage. I think it's like an 8-minute video.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen this,
Bro,
dude. Yeah, it's like the beginning.
It's deep. It's deep, but it kind of goes into that, because it kind of explains like as if God is experiencing himself through 9 billion people.
Wow.
And how we're mirrors of one another. Look, it's worth a watch. Or we can just suggest it to the
viewers.
Yeah, and then you watch it later.
Yeah, if it's too long.
It's 8 minutes.
Too long.
Yeah. But it's just a quick breakdown.
That idea was pretty. So basically, God's going through puberty on my lifetime.
yeah, right. That's a hormonal malfunction right now.
So it's just kind of like the way he describes it, right? So like everything was just covered like that, like. Basically, he says we're reflections of one another, you know. So it's like if we're treating somebody poorly, we're treating ourselves poorly in a different way, in a different life, in a different time, you know. But it's like it still affects us some way, somehow. So we're connected. So those cells that you were talking about expands, bro. So that's why I believe in waves and vibrations.
Yeah.
So it's a good watch. I recommend it. Take a minute of your time.
And it's like every religion too, you know, has some version of the golden rule, you know what I'm saying? Even secular time, you know, secular language would be the golden rule, like, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the Bible calls it something, Buddhism calls it something else, you know, so it's just like, you know, but just do unto others, you know what I'm saying?
It's like be a good person to your
be
fellow man.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, just be chill.
It's not a hard concept,
So look, what are the basics? We can make...
Chill, bro.
Look, relax, breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe and relax. Bless you. Compassion. You know, like consider others, and if you do things with love, everything just kind of like
happens.
You know,
for
you attract better.
Yeah.
Better things come.
The law of attraction.
I don't know. It just makes more sense. You know? So I think like Christianity really just teaches that: be loving and compassionate with your neighbor.
Yeah. And you know, at the same time, you know, with that being said, it's just like to go back to even earlier stuff we were talking about. It's still like you still have to fight these cancer cells that are out here in the world.
Yeah.
Like, right? You know, it's like your body can be healthy, but in attack mode because there's an infectious disease going around. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, I think that's a big thing to take away from that as well. Is like, you know, yeah, like you are supposed to love, but like when you're under spiritual attack or like, you know, something's
defend
coming,
yourself.
Yeah, defend. You gotta know how to fight too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's better, what they say is like, it's better to be a gardener that knows how to fight than like a warrior that just knows how to garden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
right.
You know,
Yeah. So you gotta be a dangerous man, dude.
Be the gardener.
That's why I love. I mean, not that I love it, like, but when you grow up in a place that's rough, you learn that naturally.
Yeah.
And I think too many people grew up in a place that's soft.
Yeah.
The USA. Yeah. Not, you know, realizing how good you have it here.
Like, you need to have that instinct to just react and know what to do, you know, in any situation. And I mean, you could train yourself. I mean, you know, like people go to like combat schools or martial art and stuff like that, you know. But growing up in a neighborhood where you gotta watch your back, that becomes you're good. That was a good little quick skill you learned. Well, it wasn't easy, but
and it's a mental thing too, because it's like you don't want to take every fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's some fights you avoid not because you're a pussy or anything like that. It's just like like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not gonna fucking I'm gonna fight everybody. If you take the approach of, man, I gotta fight everybody, prove myself in every situation, it's like there's definitely a mental battle. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's like be physical, but you also have to be mentally aggressive, mentally aggressive out here. You know, be able to put shit together. Like, okay, 1 and 1 is this. You know what I'm saying? So,
but again, it teaches you about people.
Yeah, it does.
And when to know a predator's around.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because people are just like, this doesn't look like a rape van. Where's the candy?
Oh, I know. Y'all said y'all got puppies.
Where are they? Oh no!
I'm coming. Yeah, man. It's funny. That's funny.
So I think a moral of today's episode, we're realizing the world is a beautiful place, but be on guard. Be a little bit hesitant about everything. Kind of just ask a question like, do I really trust X, Y, and Z? Do I really trust a friend that's kind of always tells me to do the wrong things? Should I always trust my government? Should I always trust the food that I'm eating? Like, just ask yourself a little bit more often, and maybe you'll think like, or see the things we're starting to see, and because that's really what we want here, man. I don't want to split us up, but I want us to come together, and I think we're stronger than we think.
Yeah.
And we're stronger together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I think I'm done here.
Oh.
Let's see it.
I'm gonna wipe him down.
Big reveal.
Let him really.
Camera reveal. Yeah. Let him relax.
Relax for a little bit. About to soap him up.
Okay.
But how'd y'all feel like the show went, guys?
Great.
Yeah, I liked it, man. This was fun. This was my first time being on a podcast. I loved it, man.
Thanks for coming, bro.
Thanks for coming.
Already.
Hell yeah.
Alex.
Hell
yeah. On the ones and twos, killing it.
Yeah, no, man. It's definitely the flow. Yeah, man. Quick, too.
Hell yeah.
But I feel like it was good. The conversation was good. It just felt right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Intentions are definitely good, man. You know, we want to lead people in the right direction. You know, we don't want to like convince people of anything that they don't want to be convinced of. We just there's powers out there that misguide us, you know. So that's all.
Yeah. Any send-offs, fellas? You want to tell the listeners out there
what should we send them off with?
Yeah. You don't have to rush it.
Okay, well, no, I heard it was rumored that Diddy had so much oil in his house that it made George Bush's left eye twitch.
Oh, shit. There we go.
Dude, I saw a video. Somebody was like, it was like the feds when they walked into P. Diddy's house, and it's like this big dude, and he's got the glasses, and he's just sliding. But it's like slow mo. What's it? What do you call it in 2 pictures? Stop motion.
Picture in picture.
So it's like it's fucking funny, dude. It's like so he's just like slides. He's fighting at first, and he just gives up. And he slides, and this shit was fucking great. But Diddy, man. You did it to yourself.
Hey, man,
buddy.
yeah. You know, all these CEOs now are stepping down and everything. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I seen that too.
Like people that might have been at those parties are trying to.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
Punch his pilot.
Russell Simmons moved to Bali.
Yeah, man, but.
Let me go down.
Oh yeah. Like I'm at a Diddy party right now.
The real filming's about to
Shut
start.
your mouth, bad boy.
It's gonna be easier if you're gonna do it from here. Yeah.
There's the diddler.
Ta-da! Wow. That's fucking dope.
But he's got swag, man.
He does.
He's like just at home saying fuck the bullshit. Playing some Madden.
That's nice. Shout out to the Texans too. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Mm-hmm. Dude, you killed it with the detail. Like that white really did.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, man.
Thank y'all, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, man.
Yeah, dude.
Good man shakes. Oh, don't forget our producer, Dr. O Lord.
Good job, man. Good job,
bro.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's a wrap.